Yo. This
Yo.
Paul Masson is hitting right now. We on? We live? We in stereo? You need a cup?
Wait,
Yes,
is
thank
it?
you.
Yeah, so,
We live?
yeah, we live.
Oh, shit.
We
I
on,
didn't
we
even
on.
know. We on.
We on stereo.
Yeah. Who yeah? I was feeling bad the past couple of days, so I'm feeling a little bit better today.
Yeah.
So. Who yeah?
Yo, this is episode 10.
Episode 10.
Episode 10,
Shit, I didn't even realize.
number after 9,
That's dope.
before 11.
10, baby.
Yeah.
That's dope. Double digits, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Hell yeah.
Cheers. You got.
Hell yeah. Hell
You are not cheering with no
Because
Starbucks.
you
She's
didn't,
drinking.
you
No.
didn't give me an opportunity to be
No.
prepared. We have to do it again anyway. When
That's
you
what
bring
she's
it.
Of
drinking,
course,
though.
yeah, but no. I'm giving her the works today. All right, guys. Episode
What is
10.
up?
It's been
10,
it's
baby.
been 2 weeks.
Yeah. You had your little Houston thing. You
Yeah,
had to go
Houston
out
was
there
popping,
and
man.
Do that.
For my birthday.
Okay.
You know, Scorpio's in the building.
Yeah.
Somebody's birthday's in about 2 more days.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Lucky number 13.
All right. Yeah, 13 is a dope number.
How old are you turning?
32.
32.
Shit, let's go.
Think
31.
about it for a second.
32.
86 was a very good year.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
86, that bullshit. Tell
Yeah.
everybody.
Hey, 84 was when Michael Jackson,
Drop Thriller.
yeah,
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
you know.
You
That
know.
was about the only thing good about that year. I'm just
Wow.
1984 is
I'm
a
just
dope
playing,
ass
just
book
playing.
though.
Yeah,
That's a
and,
dope ass book.
and you know what's crazy?
That
It was
shit fire.
George Orwell.
Shit is dope as hell.
You know what was good about 86, though? The Mets won the World Series.
Thank God I wasn't. I mean, I was alive. I had just been born, but thank God I didn't have my wits about me to even realize it. I've never seen that. So
Oh, Rain's about 10 minutes away, and I'm
Yeah.
saying that live on air.
okay.
What did you do in Houston?
So Houston was dope. Shout out to my homegirl, Danielle. I know her since elementary school. She pretty much gave me a, tour of Houston. It was dope. One thing, we were just talking about it before we got in, and it was crazy. We were talking about the air, like how the New York air is different from anywhere else.
Yeah.
So when I got off the plane, it was just like you can smell.
Fresh air.
Yeah, like New York
Actual
is like
fresh air.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, what the hell? But Houston was dope. One thing I will say about Houston is like the art and like there's like an abundance of art in Houston. Like there's culture. I felt like it was like a country version of Bushwick in Brooklyn. Like it was dope.
Yeah, Houston got a dope
Yeah,
music scene and shit.
I went to this jazz lounge thing with poetry and all that. There was this dude named Pimp the Poet, the
Okay.
Poet Pimp, and he had this joint. He had this poem. It was supposed to be a response to Erykah Badu's Tyrone,
Okay.
but it was called
Yeah.
Simone.
Okay.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
I wasn't expecting
Yo,
that.
it
I
was
expecting
terrible.
that.
Like he was all over the place, and I couldn't get past his teeth. Like he had like teeth, like one was pointing this way, another one was pointing in my direction.
Man,
the
you better
Trinidad
leave
Jays.
the poet pimp alone.
No, it
He
was
tried.
it was bad. It
He
was
tried some shit.
it was bad.
He's trying to perfect his craft.
He
That's
was
where people
like
go to perfect their craft.
he was like, you called Tyrone, but you forgot about Simone. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about?
Yo, I gotta look this shit up. I hope that shit is online.
Yo, if it is, you gonna see me shaking my head like this.
Shit probably fire. You
Yeah,
hear
that
it,
shit was not fire. I had to put water on that shit. Nah, but it was dope. There was this, one place too that I went to was dope. It was like this mural. They had like different murals, and there was this mural of Selena, and I had to take a picture of it. It was really dope. I love that. Love the piece. And there was another.
Selena.
Yeah, man, it was dope. It was like beautiful. Like that whole row was just full of artwork. But
Let
yeah,
me
man.
ask both of y'all a question.
What's
Did
up?
y'all know about Selena before the movie?
Oh, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I had no idea.
Me neither, but I still love her.
I didn't know what a bitty bitty bamba was
Me neither.
until
Did, but
Jennifer
I ain't
Lopez.
front. I ain't fall in love until after the fact. Like it wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But I can't say that I listen to her music even after I do.
I ain't gonna front. I got Selena CDs. Like
Yeah,
I
pretty
can
much.
sing the shit. Like
After I got
I know I don't know what she's saying, but I know what she's saying. Like I can sing it. I don't know what it means, but
Dum Dummer.
yeah,
That's all I got.
she's an alien.
That's all I got. Shout out to all the fans of Selena. Rest in peace.
Selena's the
Speaking of
shit.
that, quick segue because I know we have some things to cover, but there's this T-Pain was quoted saying that Aaliyah's legacy it was like pretty much drawn out after her death, meaning like that it pretty much made a bigger deal than what it was.
I kind of said
after her
that
death.
before I even heard.
But what makes you say that? And
Makes him say that. I didn't say that.
Or
Before you come at me again.
Dang, but you see how people start rumors because I didn't say anything. All I did was ask.
What did she say? What did she say, Carnegie kid?
She just said.
She said, "What makes you
Carnegie
say
kid,
that?"
What makes you say that? Because you said that before.
Okay, I honestly feel like she had a ton of potential, and I think because of her untimely passing, that was kind of her. And I don't want to say status but I think she may be just a bit exaggerated because of the death. Like Jada said, dead rappers get better promotion. Like, and it's just, when people die, I think they kind of, you get the flowers after you die rather than when you're still here. And I think she was definitely great, but like to be mentioned in the same breath as like some of the greats, I don't think so.
But I don't think that's
Really?
fair. I don't think that's fair to say.
Like Aaliyah, and then I sort of like back and forth was like Aaliyah and Beyonce, and I'm like, come on, man.
But you know what? For Aaliyah's
no.
day, she was the only person who was singing and dancing, like just in terms of the package that she put forth, and then but she was actually really talented at both.
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
And I don't think anyone ever questioned her talent at both. I'm not gonna take this in the direction of saying like, why wouldn't we say the same thing about Biggie and like Tupac, right?
I mean,
who are men. And the reason why I say that is because like as time has like as we transcend with time, like we start paying attention to more, right?
Yeah.
I feel like as time moved on, we pay attention to like flow and like lyrics and beat and hook, right? Whereas like at another point in time, you might have just listened to like flow and beat, or you might have just paid attention to that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the same thing with Aaliyah then versus, because like I'm not gonna lie, like I was one of them people who I was a huge fan of Aaliyah. She's probably one of my favorite songstress, R&B songstress. Now, understand, Lauryn Hill is always one of the favorites. Let me put perspective.
She's your favorite.
Let me stamp that. But I really loved Aaliyah. Like, my mom had to call me and be like, "Did you hear that? Like, your favorite like musician passed away." I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, et cetera, et cetera.
And that
but
hurts,
I feel like she didn't get a chance to reach her peak. You know?
Absolutely.
But I just think, in all fairness, like her trajectory was on the way up.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Just like Biggie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She just came out of.
But ain't nobody ever
I
questioned
think,
his
I think that's a good comparison. But I will.
And Pac.
I say I don't think Pac, because he still had music out the ass, and I think that even adds to his legacy, because it's like in a 5-year period, some motherfucker recorded 2,000 songs.
Agreed.
Like
That's
so I think that shit adds to his legacy. But I think Hov has it over Biggie. One of the main reasons is because you only have 2 bodies of work, and Hov has 14 or 15 to go. Like as dope as those 2 are, Hov has 15.
I was gonna ask you a separate question.
Survived through different genres and shit. So I mean, through not different genres, through different like eras of hip hop, like, and still stood the testament, like from 96 to 06 to 16. Hov was still like, so. I think that's why, like, I gotta not slight Biggie for that, but like I can't say Biggie's better than Hov when Hov got 14 albums and Big only got 2.
Remember, there's people out there who say Biggie's
Absolutely.
better than Hov.
There's people that say Big is number 1, and can you debate that? No. I think the only 3 people that you can say is number 1 is Pac, Big, or Hov. And any one of those 3, I'll take. Anybody outside of that, I'll argue you down. But any one of those 3, I can accept.
What would it take for someone to outdo them?
I think it's a whole package. It's lyricism, it's skills, it's sales, it's social impact, it's swag, it's everything into the package. And I think those 3 are leaps and bounds ahead of everybody. I don't think nobody else is even in the. Some people say Eminem, but like, come on, man.
No, like I never fell. I feel like people were fascinated by the fact that he was a white rapper.
Yeah.
And like lyrically, like no one can question his talent, but I feel like there was a fascination there more than anything else.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the same.
Don't judge me.
He think he's in the same breath as who?
I don't. No. He's definitely one of the greats, one of the best of all time. But it's like people say Eminem's best rapper ever, and hell of fuck no.
But everybody has that opinion, and they if, as long as you have substantial facts that go about it, like, because I think Nas is the greatest of all time.
But see, that's the whole thing. This is an opinion-based matter, so
Yeah.
there isn't really no fact. It's about how well you can prove your point. And if you like, I could say Lil B is the best, but if I can, you know, if I can put my argument together well enough, then it's like you got to kind of accept it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it all goes about preference also too, because I think Nas is better. He does a lot of things better than I think Jay-Z, and you know, just things like that. But Jay-Z is exceptional though.
I don't know. I don't even think like it's a comparison. Like I don't think like I don't like to use terms like tier 1 and tier 2, but like. I think that's what I think tier 1 is Big Pac, Hove, and then everybody else is kind of like the
I just think
tier.
there's certain things I would want to hear from Nas that I really don't want to hear from Jay-Z, because
there's certain things you want to hear from Hove that you don't want to hear from Nas.
Exactly.
But why is that? I feel like if you're gonna cast a judgment like that, then maybe it doesn't make you an objective critic of like the talent, right? Because
how so?
Because I feel like if you're evaluating whether or not, I remember like this takes me back to our conversation about like the GOAT, the greatest of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it is that you're evaluating someone consistently off of a set type of measures, then you're evaluating them off of those measures. It's not about whether or not you want to hear that from them. That's nice and all. But, like what is your standard? What is your bar? And because I feel like when you just pass judgment like that, it becomes about fanatics.
Oh, no, I can tell you perfectly. Like, for example, I think with Nas, and I think Jay-Z could go on record and tell you, like, yo, Nas is just better at that. As far as, like, being able to paint a picture, story tell. And I think that, and being conscious with it, Jay-Z can do it, but I just feel like, I mean, for me, the way Nas's history and his approach to it and how he does it, I just feel like it's just more appealing to me, and he does it better.
And I think I think that's one of the huge misconceptions about that. And we spoke about that on the show before. I think people would automatically think, oh, Nas is better than that. But to me, Minority Report, Beach Chair, shit like that is better than like. You know
listen to what I'm saying.
He's ever really done.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but I feel like you say those are just two, and I
could go on with a lot more, bro. Yeah. Meet the Parents, the shit that
was terrible.
With being you're bugging, bro.
Meet the Parents was terrible.
You're tripping, son.
It was terrible.
You're tripping, especially when that came out at a time when he just gave Nas his life back. I gave
you
life when
terrible.
Niggas was forgetting you MC.
Okay.
I'm a legend. You should take a picture with me.
Okay.
You should be happy to be in my presence. I should charge you a fee. I'm Big Dog, Glen Rob. Listen, guard you a flea. Your little homie Jungle is a garden to me.
Okay.
Son, you're not
so you go to a diss track. And
yeah, because it's like, and everything he was saying kind of like, remember the picture that they took when he signed him? Like, I'm a legend. You should take a picture with me. And then it happened.
That was before he signed him.
That was right before they did the signing. They took the picture. He was like sunning him.
You look like you taking this shit personally.
He sunned him, son. He
it's
did.
Not. It's all a matter of opinion. I've been
son.
arguing Nas debates with Jay-Z, diplomats for
it's
like over 15
close,
years,
and
it's just a matter. Close. It's just a matter of opinion. Matter of it is. That's an opinion.
Never, like Hove transcended rap. Even like it's bigger than rap.
You can't say that when you can't say transcended rap, because you can say same thing with Tekashi 6ix9ine. He transcended rap.
Hell no.
Lil Wayne.
Not even. Come on.
You can't do that. When you talk about transcended rap, to me, I go back to bars, rap, what I like to hear, and what I think is dope. That's why I feel like it's just a matter of preference. Because there's people who think Fab is the best out, who is the best, and you know, people have those opinions.
Entitled to their opinion.
Exactly.
Nah.
No matter how many Jay-Z diss raps you can quote.
I still feel like you have to be able to. At some point. My bad. I'll do better. Some point, like identify a set of metrics, and a couple of people sit down around a table and agree on like what those are, and agree about like who, give people a rating. I'd like to see that happen. Just to, not because I feel like you have to, but I'd just like to know, because a lot of times people call people the best and they don't justify why.
True.
I mean, are you saying I don't justify why Nas is the best?
No, I think you did.
I mean, are you coming for me right now?
I didn't. The one thing that you said about him was that he storytells, but I didn't hear you say anything.
It's just part of it. I just name one aspect. I feel like with Nas, one thing that got me with Nas is the fact that he took what Slick Rick was good at, and he took what Rakim was good at, and then he just made it into his own, and he just took it to another level. So as far as like lyricism, cadence, and things like that, you know. Hey,
I think
watch your leg. Watch your leg. You're gonna have to do the high jump.
Oh.
Do the high jump.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
Rick was that guy though, son. Like, come on, man. Saying somebody took it to a higher level than Rick, I think it's just because like you wind up rapping in a situation where like there was more, you know, rap was more accessible. So, you know what I'm saying? There's MTV, there's BET and all of that. So when Rick was operating, it was really, he didn't have that many outlets for that. But to say somebody upgraded on Rick, bro, like, son, he like, come on, man.
It's not about, he took the ball, he picked the same level of people say about Jay-Z and Biggie. Like, he took the ball, he just ran with it. I think that's what he did. He saw the blueprint with Slick Rick, and then he just took that and then he made it into his own. He wasn't really necessarily telling the same exact type of stories as Slick Rick, but he just, you know, he made I Gave You Power. You know, he made these Sekou Story. You know what I'm saying? He made these songs like, you know, Makings of a Perfect Bitch, things like that. He took that blueprint and he just made it into his own.
So I don't know, Slick was real flashy too.
No, Slick was dope. Slick Rick was dope. I like Slick Rick.
A good segment would be to like identify a couple of artists and compare them.
Yeah.
Like identify a couple of things and compare them and see where.
You can do that. You can definitely do that. Oh, this drink came out. Welcome, Rain. Welcome to the party, Rain. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Oh, we're not on yet. We're not on yet. I guess we just that excited to. Yeah.
I'm Cowboys blue over here.
Patriots red.
Right.
Patriots red.
There we are.
Shout out to the Patriots losing today, getting smacked.
Yeah, not giving the ball to Sony Michelle.
Yeah.
Fuck ass Bill Belichick.
So we had like a little conversation about, you know, talk about a little bit of everything. Aaliyah, how you heard about that, Rain?
Nah, I didn't hear about that.
About T-Pain saying like how her legacy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I'll have to hear the context in which he said it because it's not so wrong to say.
I mean, I disagree a little bit because I mean.
No, I don't agree with what he said, but I'm saying and seeing.
I mean, it's easy to say. I don't know. I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I just think.
It's valid.
Well, both of you guys. I just think like it's not fair to say when a person's career is cut so short.
I think
I agree.
A better question to ask is where does everybody feel like she is? Because like I think some people like try to, you know, is she like in the conversation of one of the greatest?
Her impact was really, 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 really heavy.
Okay.
Before she died, that's why. And when, like you said, when life is cut short and you don't have the ability, you know, to keep doing, you know what I mean, like and compete. Yeah. What you put out and your impact always counts across the board. Yeah. So many people, even I would say even up to 10, 15 years younger than me were influenced by Aaliyah. Like she had a crazy impact. So I think that, you know, but that's what I'm saying. We have to hear the context in which he said it. Yeah. He still has a right to say it because
of course
that can be said about a lot of people that died early.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Amy Winehouse, Big, Jimi Hendrix, yeah, you know.
But certain people's talent is just like you can't say that too.
Bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Not Jimi Hendrix, bro.
She wasn't like the best singer, like per se. Not to critique her. I'm just saying, but she had dope music.
That she brought, her
disagree.
singing, her dancing, or like her performance rather, was something that people like appreciated, I guess, and the style.
She had talent. I think she was. You know, she still was natural. Like that's that too. You know what I mean? Like artists of that era. It's not like she was put together. Yeah. Like she's a singer, she's a dancer, she's a performer. And aim to do this, you know.
What's hard to evaluate is you look at people who are from that era, right? Like Monica, for instance, and or Brandy and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And you see that it was really like a hit or miss. Because like, okay, everyone to some degree has longevity, but some people grew with social media and like and this need to like continue to put out music consistently. Some people couldn't keep up with it, right? Mm-hmm. How Beyonce disrupted the shit is that like she just started putting out album after album after album. And like, and not only was she putting out albums, like she had tours. What you shaking your head for?
Can we have an episode without talking about Beyonce?
No, but the reason,
can we let Aaliyah just have her time?
No, and I am because don't get me wrong. Like I said, Aaliyah like was a favorite back then, but I think it's always hard to answer questions like that because times have changed. So it's really about whether or not the artist could have kept up. Like, could Aaliyah have like, could she have transcended to be someone who was like a worldwide performer, putting on performances all the time, blah, blah, blah. And is that what people demanded of her?
She was on, like I said before, she was on that
trajectory.
She was
on the incline. Yeah.
She was on the way up. She just finished doing
Rock
that
the
movie.
Boat had just dropped.
Yeah.
How much of
I
that?
was so sad.
Rock the Boat was a fire song. I mean,
it was that
it's
damn
still, like,
album.
Right.
How
Her
much
first
of
album
that, though,
impacted me. One in a million.
Yeah.
That's an impactful album.
How much of that? How much of
every
that
song
was
on
her,
album.
and how much of that was like Timbaland and Missy? Because it was kind of like,
It's
you know,
like-
So
So
it was a lot of
like,
Timbaland and Missy.
I don't think
collaboration.
anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can argue like she wasn't like, you know, a crazy songstress, like a crazy, you know, like Mariah Carey going there and belt out some wild shit. So it's kind of like, you know, the songs were constructed by
I get that.
Missy and Timbaland, and it was like, yo, we get somebody that can basically hold a note and get in
To a
there and do
degree.
it. So
because
that's why
some
I don't.
stuff, no, they were constructed, but I'm saying it's not like this is not what she was doing. It wasn't like she was put together.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
that's what I'm
her
saying. It's
to sell
her.
it.
It's like, you know, I decided young that I want to pursue this. You know what I mean? Like she was early on popping before her connection with Tim and Missy.
You ain't
so
lying. You ain't
she's
lying.
really an artist
Yeah,
at
she's
the
an
end
artist.
of the day. A dancer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Performer. She, you know, she's a
Actress.
creative and actress.
Yep.
So these are all things that are naturally, they all go together. And the fact of the matter is, it's really about impact. You know, like we're all still building our legacies, like each and every one of us, right? And so you want, well, this is how I think. I want to, you know, when I pass, that my legacy has an impact. You know, like
course.
that while I was here, what I did impacted. That's why I always hold artists to a certain standard when artists are judging other artists, especially young artists. Like, stop talking crazy about artists when you. That's how I feel. I know that's a tangent, but
RAINE.
or a tiny tangent. But you know, it's the same thing. Like, stop talking crazy about artists that you're nowhere near their impact.
Yeah.
It's
I
not for me
agree.
to judge or to say what you can do, but come on, like, chill. Don't talk crazy.
Like these young niggas saying Biggie and Tupac is whack.
Shit
and
like that. It's
yo,
like,
shut the fuck
dude, you
up.
haven't done
They
enough.
better yo,
But
listen.
even in their
Y'all niggas be
defense,
saying
even
that,
in
though.
the young ones' defense, the old heads, you know, saying things to them when they actually making better moves and stuff like that. It still has to be regard. You know what I'm saying? Regard, because the game changed into where it's more about the grind.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But yes, but the grind was
And
different
that's about
then.
the talent.
But the grind was different then. Right?
was
and,
different.
And I feel like we don't even have an opportunity to really assess people's grind, because I feel like if people are talking about grind, look at Diddy. Right?
No, I'm just saying that a lot of artists that are popping, they're popping because of their grind too. Like, a lot of the ones that who people don't like, or you think is elementary, or the music is whack, they also, some of them may be constructed or maybe plants, how people say, but they're also they're artists that push that go harder than, you know how they say the old saying, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard.
Yep.
But and yes, and my question about that, and you know what, it's I feel like it's unfair when I judge, because I don't pay that much attention. Like, so even when you guys were just talking about lyrics, like for me, I need to study to give a fair a fair assessment. My thing is, like, it's been easier for people to like make it nowadays, right? Because accessibility is real.
Right.
People have YouTube where they can promote themselves, so grind looks different. If your grind is sitting down in front of a camera, like belting out rhymes until someone catches your attention, and that's how you popped, then that's great, right?
Yeah.
But the grind was it was a little bit more challenging. So for someone, it was more challenging, and then like to have the talent off top of that, because talent looks different now. Like, a lot of these kids, like, they don't really say anything of substance, and I think that's why I don't pay attention. Or you're not paying attention to the ones who do have something of substance to say. So what was interesting about people like Biggie and shit like that is that they had something of substance to say, but they also like engaged in
That's
different
what I'm
type
saying.
of
But
grind.
we also can't overlook the talent of the young who may not have substance, because there is still some talent in it. Like, on the way
That's
here,
real.
like, this is why, like, I feel like I'm in it. Like, when rappers fall off a hole, I might as well take Unpopular Opinions to unleash the beast, because there is some.
She ain't even have no.
Who fell
She
off?
ain't have
I know,
no dirty
no,
water
I
yet.
know, I
She
didn't.
ain't even have no dirty
Who
water.
fell off?
Oh,
Blow 'em
man.
up.
Wait.
I'm out with I was going to do a blog about this week, but I'm like, you know what?
Blow him up.
Hold up. Can we just segue that into the battle The battle that you
of course.
You know what I'm saying?
We could do that.
Real quick though.
Hold on though. Who fell off?
Harlem.
Oh, damn. I know.
Oh.
Damn.
My heart is hurt because I love them dudes, man.
Drop something.
Nah, that hurt my heart.
That hurt my heart too.
Hold up.
Why this nigga don't have teeth though?
Well,
man?
that part, but
like,
even like I didn't want to say, but the consensus is.
Wait, don't judge me. Which one was that?
The dips, man. The dipset jump off is not what it. I don't want to say it, but I'm not feeling it like that. I gotta watch it again. I'm not feeling the title. I'm not feeling the hook. The song. It sounds, their look. It's like. That's prime example. No, it's like no shot. Cause Cam is my fave. Like they all kind of like individually are better off. This right here was just too dated. Like this should have happened 5 years ago, even 3 years ago. This could have happened and still been way more fresh. It's not fresh. That's the whole thing, man. Wow. You got to stay fresh. It's not about age or none of that. They all saucy, swaggy individuals. Whatever. They all, they're of a certain age, and then on top of that. JUELZ kind of like looking like the old young teeth, nigga, young old nigga. I don't know.
Wait. I'm still stuck on no teeth.
Why you don't?
I think it's drugs.
It's obviously
drugs.
It's
a lean
replacement teeth, man. Like
veneers.
I heard that it's a crazy price. No, it's not the price. I think I was reading like comments where people was talking about it.
I'm confused.
And somebody had mentioned the fact that. They're trying to do the same thing, and it's because of lean and the fact that it's like a real long process.
What's a long process?
I don't
This
know,
nigga ain't
man.
had teeth for a minute.
No, but
man.
he had teeth. He had his mouth was. We gotta keep it. I guess I hate talking about. His mouth was looking old, but he had teeth.
When
now,
they was on TRL, he ain't have no teeth.
No, he had. I think he had
recently.
fake teeth.
This was like a year ago.
Even earlier this year, you can find him smiling, but his mouth still looks sus. It looks sus. It's like he got fake teeth. Now he don't have none here, but he been missing teeth on the side too.
Nigga don't have no teeth, and you can hear
it. Either way,
Kim
tried to warn him on the.
He got the fiend teeth
on the lean anyway,
and that's one of my favorite of all time. JUELZ is my top 5.
I'm just disappointed. I'ma say
he got that. I'm a crack head teeth.
Ass, man.
I love to get. Man, y'all never seen Jungle Fever.
Flesh, man.
And he's still like. That's why overall, altogether, I want to hear another song. I can't believe that the Heatmakers is producing.
Heatmakers.
That
I feel like that beat is fire,
dope,
but
what was
which
the
one?
shit that came out like
the
a couple months
shit.
ago? Yeah,
that was hard.
And JUELZ ain't have a verse.
Once Upon a Time,
that shit was hard.
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, that
was fire.
Yeah.
But this, I'm not Sauce Boys. I'm not feeling Sauce Boys.
I think it was I'm just heard about JUELZ.
Speaking of Harlem,
what?
J MILLZ.
J MILLZ.
Wait. So I tried to watch it like the illegal way. I'm not even gonna hold you. Yo, I'm gonna be real. So I managed to get like the audio, and I was listening to it on my way to work. And I was very I'll go to war with you with anybody who says KSHINE won the first round. J MILLZ won the first round.
Hey, give us some clap.
Hold up. You gonna get the bumper clap and the clap.
Bumper clap.
He won the first round.
Salute to that.
He won the first round.
Salute to that.
He won the first round. I will say this: I didn't get a chance to hear the second round because kids were coming in my office the whole time, so I really didn't get a chance to hear it. But from what I've heard,
it's because you listened to that 13-minute illegal clip on YouTube. That's why. That only captured the first round. Stop lying.
No. I'm not going to disclose my source. There's a second round. But it's going to be off now because it only stay up there for an extended period of time. But anyway, of course you can. Oh, this? Oh. But I will say this though, KSHINE, all he does is yell. Like all he did was yell, and it was just like his bars was like. I was listening for technical bars and all that extra stuff. Like, there was one line that I liked that KSHINE said in the first round with the whole, oh, big, da-da-da-da-da. And he said, no, keep fucking them up. That was ill. I was like, damn, that was crazy. But first round, J MILLZ.
I like the Uber Eats line because it was relatable.
I got tired of the MILLZ thing.
I do give like the first round to J MILLZ.
He overdid that whole MILLZ thing, MILLZ on Wheels shit.
Let's talk about that. Q popped up at the event.
Yeah,
Let's go live. Let's go live on them. Live recap.
Shout out to Q going to her first battle.
Okay. Word. Shout out to the love from the unpopular opinions. Opinions Podcast.
Yo, salute, man. We a family.
Word. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's just shit. You laugh at that all the time.
What is that?
That's Macho Man. That's the God.
Fuck with Macho Man.
You love that shit.
That's my nigga.
But nah, yo.
So we ended up actually seeing each other at the end of the event because I didn't know she was even there. I'm like, what? That's what's up. That's what's up.
I came in the middle of the event, and who was on stage was, now don't judge me because I know I don't know nobody's name.
Take your time.
But the Hispanic kid, I feel bad that I call him the Hispanic kid. Yeah. Is that
I like him. Shout out to Jims.
I like Jims too, but this Jims.
And the other kid, and I don't remember his name.
Clean.
Oh yeah. I should have remembered that because of that line.
QB?
Yeah.
QB?
Yeah. Whomever that person was. And I got a chance to see them. The females go at it.
Well, let's talk about that battle first.
The females?
No, Jims versus Clean.
So I feel like I heard the entire battle. I don't remember lyric by lyric, but I remember that I felt like the Hispanic kid. What's his name again?
Jims.
I feel like he took the last round without a doubt. I feel like his last round was real. Or like real disrespectful, rather.
Right.
And like it went like for what battle rap is, he went in on like that kid's life. Like like that kid walked off stage feeling sad. Jims went in on QB's life or on Clean's life.
Okay. Yeah. You got it.
Or maybe because it felt like I felt hurt for that kid.
I want the people to know that this right here was your first battle rap event.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, we're gonna give it another.
I really do like your perspective on battles and stuff like that.
Well, thank you.
But you said that in the third round he did.
Yeah, I feel like in the third round he definitely took it. I feel like don't get me wrong, like I was oohing and ahhing with the crowd with the kid Clean because I feel like he was consistent for their rounds, but I felt like the last round I definitely gave it to the Jims kid, and maybe it's because like he was disrespecting who he was as a person, and like he took. Like, for me, if I'm going to listen to a battle, like, I want to hear you go in. And, like, I can't wait to share my perspective about the girls going in.
Okay.
Because I have a ton of thoughts about that.
That's good, because I wanted this would be the first time to do an official, something for the girls, because they're not talking about the girl battle like that. Well, shout out to, people who are, but I felt like that was the battle of the night. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the girls have... Johnny Floss in the building. What's up?
Johnny Floss, welcome back.
Johnny was there.
Thank you. Okay. Unfortunately, I was there, but I missed... all of them except J. Mills.
The main one. That's you was on BK time.
I said unfortunately, but I saw a little bit. I saw a little bit of QB and
Okay, so we're gonna talk about that one.
Okay.
But yeah, with Jims versus Clean, I think it's a debatable battle. It was good bar exchange.
Yeah.
I'm not mad if you give it to Jims. But Clean is just a better entertainer overall. But Jim's energy, I think, is just off ever since the whole issue. Like that was like issue number 2.
Yeah.
With that issue, and I just feel like even being a part of the press conference, his energy was just different. I don't know. It's just he has had twins, so shout out to that. Maybe he's like on a different type of time.
Shout out
but
to
his
that,
whole energy was like a little off to me. So
shout out to having twins.
The blogs were interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to that. Word. The blogs were his blog that he dropped was still on point. But I think maybe he should do the blogging thing. Like more focused. You know what I mean? Like because he's lit with that. He's doing the merch and all that. Like it's a lane
funny,
there. He's funny,
charismatic. Yeah,
very
definitely.
entertaining.
I
And
like him.
His energy was kind of different, but But on to the ladies. SHUNE versus QB.
What do you think?
So, like don't judge me if I mess up their names.
Girl, if you say don't judge me one more time.
So QB, that's her name. Like I feel like she took it hands down, but I feel like the disrespect was real. Well, first and foremost, I want to speak about the crowd. Right? It was interesting. I was sitting at the bar and I was listening to men around them, and I remember the men on stage like prompting folks to give them respect and to respect them like the same way. And like automatically when the young lady SHUNE started going, like one of the guys started giving another guy credit for her work. He was like, "Don't she sound like Fetty?" Now I know who the hell they talking about. Could have been Fetty, but
Fetty's
well,
a
no.
man.
At
Fetty's
first,
a man.
I thought it was Fetty.
I
At
knew
first, I
that
thought it was the Fetty Wap kid, right?
No,
Don't judge me.
She didn't think it was Fetty Wap. That was just
But then I realized it was somebody else.
That was just audio.
No, it wasn't. I am who I am. Don't judge me. See, you judge it. You can't judge me. I ain't get it,
Yo.
but I will.
Keep it going.
But it was
But that's
it
whack
was interesting
anyway.
to
But that's what
see,
girls
like,
deal with anyway.
yeah. Now, just in terms of like, I feel like the first round, the girl Shuni went hard, right? And I feel like she definitely studied, right? I feel like she paid attention to, or she thought about what QB like might have said, or whatever the case is. But I feel like with QB's angle being that like she's gonna say the most disrespectful shit ever, it was almost and I don't mean to do it this way, but it's almost the inevitable because she was just saying disrespectful shit, And like when she said it, it was just like, oh, like I don't know if to be pissed off or if to like think that, like I don't know what to feel about that.
You mean QB's disrespect?
Yeah.
But what I had liked about what you said was you was like Shuni. You can tell
That she
had
definitely
strategic-
studied. Yeah.
She studied to be disrespectful. Like she had a strategy with it. It
Yeah.
wasn't just random disrespect. Like she came direct. And I guess I really can't respect nobody like not giving her at least one round.
Yeah.
I feel like she definitely
Who
took.
you gave it to?
I didn't see enough
Oh,
of
the
it.
whole of it.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Who you gave it to?
I gave it to QB, but I think Shuni took the first round.
So
Okay.
2-1 QB.
So you
Yeah,
gave it
but
QB.
again, if
No,
I
I
could,
think it's 2-1 either way. I have to watch it
Debatable.
to do a real. It's debatable.
that's the thing.
So
I feel like
on
I have to
first
listen to
watch,
it again.
man,
And
Then.
I think Shuni clearly won the second round. I had them tied up until the
The
third.
second round.
Right, so you can't
You
pick
know
a
what I'm
winner
saying?
right now, Rain?
Nope. I feel
Just
like
on first watch, can you pick a winner?
well, that's not really. It wouldn't really be first watch. It would just be in the building.
Oh, just
you know
in the,
what I'm
right,
saying?
that's true.
In the building, that's how I felt. I felt debatable because
What?
I felt like I'm not mad at anyone giving it to either or, but I felt like Shuni in the second round. Not only did she have the disrespect, she had mad bars. She had more bars than QB in the second round.
Oh, okay.
I told QB that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I'm like, she clearly got the second. So I had QB.
And y'all didn't get the
clearly got
not
the
to cut
first.
you off. Now, y'all didn't get the pay per view or nothing.
Nah, I tried to get the free 99.
I was trying. She wasn't working.
35 minute
Y'all
clip.
rock with battle rap though? Like,
Oh yeah, I fucks with battle rap.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm just my gripe with battle rap is this. I just think it's hard to like have a clear winner because it's kind of like now it's like because I was going through the whole thing with the SM8, the Summer Madness thing that happened this weekend. Like I was just trying to see who people thought who won or whatever the case is. And it's all about who you like.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Because you're always going to be biased. Like,
right, yeah.
You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what? Well,
So-
shameless
I feel like it's
plug.
hard to
That's
not
why
be
I'm
biased.
dropping my the realest recap blogs. Like
Yo, shout out to you for that
Real
realest recap because you was getting it. You was getting that heat.
I got the heat.
Especially from somebody to your right.
Cause you know what's crazy?
Let's get right to that.
Exactly.
Yo, listen.
I got your back.
Before we get into this, right? Wait, before we get
That's
into
all
this,
I care about anyway.
before we get into before we get into that, shout out. You know, I brought a little something
For the
you
boss
know.
day?
Yeah, it's already.
My God.
Hey.
You know what I mean? It's only right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but it's not just. It's also Arrington's birthday on what is it?
yeah.
Wednesday, Tuesday,
This
on a
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Happy early birthday.
Appreciate
Can't
you, man.
come up empty-handed when it's somebody's birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, brother.
I'm big on that.
Appreciate you, man.
What's up?
I just feel like sometimes me and Rain see eye to eye on a lot of things, but when we don't, it's like, Rain, come on. I'm not expecting anytime I disagree with her, it's because I'm just not expecting that from her. That's the only reason why. That's why I'm like,
You know why real talk? I can't help but say real talk sometimes.
You got me saying that to my kids.
I definitely heard you say.
You heard me?
You know why I say real talk? Because when it was like popular, like to kind of say real talk, you know niggas was lying. You like, niggas lying, man. Like, it's not. Stop saying real talk. You lying right now.
I say that shit to my students
I say
now.
real, like it's like, nah, for real. Like,
right.
like, I'm not, like, it's just straight up, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, the realest recap. But yeah, sometimes we dead on. You know
Right.
why? Because I aim to kind of I always try to see both sides.
Right,
So,
me too. That's why I think we get along so well and we agree on so many things.
right.
Except for this
But-
one.
But this right
You
here,
know why?
I just don't
it's
understand.
Legend status. It's legend status. It's also, my recap, which is not always like I was right behind him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that just to say that sometimes that's not even the best seat to be on the stage because they are not like it's not like you want to enjoy the battle. The
Right.
best seat is to be dead in the front where Math was. Math was in a chair. Chill. That's what
chill.
I would have
Oh,
preferred
yeah,
to be
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Let me just watch this shit. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like that. You know what I mean? But I still got it from there, and I felt like if I keep it a stack, I liked J Mills first round enough.
I think a lot of people did though.
But KSHINE first round, y'all giving too much credit to the Uber Eats joint. I know it made sense, but it wasn't a rebuttal, though it sounded like one.
Right.
It was premeditated. It was a part, in my opinion, it was part of the round. Mm-hmm. So to me, from where I was standing, it didn't hit like that. Okay. It was like, it was cool. Like, that's cute.
Nah, no, I get it.
I think he overused it. I think once is enough.
After that, he went
back.
He did so much.
Right. He did flip his name a lot.
But here's even more that proves it. More that proves it is the fact that he also said himself on Champion that was only him at a 7, which I agree with.
Right.
Because he went on an incline. He didn't give us three round threes. If he gave us 3 round threes, then we were like, okay, he bodied him. That's the other thing, too. He can claim the 30. I'm not mad at him claiming 30. Because real talk, if I really do but even me doing that, I debated the first round. I'm like, I still felt I did give him points for certain things you give points for. Legend status. Like, I'm saying he didn't suck at all. His delivery was on point. He's very articulate. Like, all things that matter. He can perform. What he did was not perform to his opponent enough. And that's more of a gripe of the people. That's not my gripe. Because after I watched it again, I'm like, he still was aggressive.
Absolutely.
Real talk, the issue is his material was ass in the second and third.
Right.
I'm keeping it a stack.
His
material was
he was
super
on
whack,
he was on, and this was
J Mills.
Y'all watched it? Y'all saw it?
I heard it. I didn't watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I seen him he did an interview with that dude, that fat dude. What's his name?
Queen's Flip.
Queen's Flip.
Funny
and he walked out. But he was trying to tell him about his second round. And like hearing it, which I didn't get a chance to hear fully, it sounded dope.
No, don't get it twisted. I feel like he had lines. He had dope lines. I just felt like it was too far in between, number one. He did seem a little dated.
He was lazy with a lot of rating.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that KSHINE got better as the time went on and he got worse, that's what made it worse too. Definitely.
Exactly.
And
but that's why I also feel that we all watch battles, right? So when you're watching them, well, at least I do. By the third round, the person who's on the incline, you can automatically, especially off of consistency, give them the whole battle, especially if the other opponent wasn't as good. Also, the person who stunk it up in the first and did the other two, you could still say that, I liked his round better. Because I judge the person who goes second by if you can make me forget about the first one.
Right.
Yeah,
there are a lot of different demographics that go into how you rate the rounds. But my thing is, I just feel like you can't, just because he did good in the first round don't mean that he was necessarily better than KSHINE. That's what I think it is. I think people think that, the fact that he did good the first round, it's like, all right, now all these other things come into play. Oh, yeah, he's a legend, and he did good. That still don't mean he lost the round. He lost the round clearly, though.
No.
Well, I don't.
In my opinion.
I'm not sure because it was, so even based off of the crowd, what I recognize is that a lot of the crowd was able to like recite shit with the kid KSHINE, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's because like his shit is material that he used before. Yeah, so like for me, like in living it down there, that felt like the shit that people were excited about. Like there was nothing else that he was saying in the first round that like really stuck out, if that makes any sense. Like he had a couple of good things about like why you coming back here? Do you need a paycheck? Blah 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 blah. Right. That shit was cool. Like he came and you can tell he wanted to sting a bit. Even J Mills on the stage, he was like, all right.
In the second or third, he went at Mills like. White up, like you said, you left the culture.
Right,
should have never left, bitch. Like he in his face.
Exactly.
Mills was not bringing him the "fuck you, suck my dick" energy that he said he was going to bring.
And that's why I feel like he messed up.
Mills
if he would have kept that same energy, keep the same energy from the first round, the battle would be a lot more debatable. Even if the material was trash.
No, see, but here's the thing. This is where I got it to a T, where I do agree with that, right? But in my opinion, the material in the second and third round was. It wasn't enough because
it wasn't
it was bad. I'm sorry, Mills. I know I fuck with you, Mills, but
I just felt like it was fun because I like the scheme.
I
like the what's the name scheme that he did. Which round was that?
The person who wrote round one,
he did the like a wrestling scheme.
He did the wrestling scheme. That was okay. I'm talking about the album scheme where he was naming the album.
But wait, real quick though. You said it wasn't landing. So here's the thing though. When
the person who wrote round one. Like, he got very lazy in the other round. It's my
Absolutely.
point. Like,
so here's
you think he led with his best
but let me
with his best.
So let me ask this though. Let me ask this question though. So do you think like if those landed, meaning the crowd reacted, would you be saying the same thing? Because there's a lot of shit that KSHINE says and it lands. I'm like, that shit was terrible.
Right, but to that point, what she was saying, I feel like KSHINE went into it like, I know I'm gonna smoke this nigga, so I'm not gonna go 10
because
or not 9. You know what I'm saying?
Knows what to do.
But
see, this is the whole thing.
He knows battle rap.
Even in retrospect, in hindsight, MILLZ could have still made that so much of a better battle.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Opinion.
I agree with that.
That's
He could have made it way more debatable,
one more time.
especially after coming out with the first round. The first round, I'm not gonna front. And me watching it was a dude in front of me.
So
Right, it was a dude in front of me. Right, he was a big J Mills fan. He's like, yo, my man is bad. Yo, I'm from Harlem. Da da da. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm pretty much even with it. I said, if he don't hit these first 4. If he goes first, he might have an issue. So he didn't hit the first 4, so he looked at me, but he started cooking up. Because remember, his first round was good. He started getting better during the first round. As soon as he finished, I looked at Son and I said, you really think that's enough? He looked at me, he was like, nah. He knew it. So it's kind of like you knew. It's like, yo, if that's what he coming with, Shine is going to watch this nigga.
After there's J, there's a K, then there's an L.
That was fire.
That was probably the best line, in my opinion. That was the best line.
People saying that's the best line.
That wasn't his
no,
best
what the
line.
best line
was. It was the most memorable one for the crowd.
Daddy Mac over the Mac.
Yeah,
what?
That was
both
fire.
Get crisscross or some shit. He said
That
that
was
shit was
fire.
fire.
That was
but that's
fire.
what I'm saying. Where were those?
I like the
shits
Tom
in
Shepard joint too, though.
Tom Shepard
Shepard
was
was
crazy.
fire.
That went
That's
over a
Tom
lot of
Shepard
people's
was.
heads,
I like the Tom Shepard.
most of his shit went
That's
over
what
a lot
I'm
of
saying.
people's
He had even his second round, like I said, he had lines in there. I just felt like he wasn't like my thing is if I'm battling KSHINE, I'm a battle rapper.
didn't go
I
in
know
the
I gotta
incline.
punch and I know I gotta be in this nigga face.
So you know
no
what?
No matter what I'm kicking, if I'm punching and I'm in this nigga face, then I know
made
I got a
spoke
battle. I
about
can make
him.
it debatable because I already know KSHINE gonna perform. He gonna have the crowd. He going, you know what I mean? By the time the third round came, he in his bad. This nigga dancing. He like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard for me to just say that he just won the first round.
The
just
blueprint,
off.
though, I seen it made me go back to when he battled Hitman Holla. Hitman Holla got him early.
Exactly.
And it made me realize, okay, and so now I kind of like.
And then plus Hitman is a performer.
Exactly.
So
to
he
your
already
point,
knew.
So to your guys' points, I get it. So I can understand why he won that battle because Hitman is a performer first.
Right.
And then his bars wasn't that heavy, but when he was hitting him with the whole, first of all, he had his soul when he first said that line about his baby mom and his daughter.
Yes.
Once he said that, I'm like, okay.
Right.
Because he just took him and he just threw him in the water after that.
Yeah, man.
But I get what you're saying. Overall, I can't wait to see the battle on full battle.
I think it's
gonna
be a lot
The
clearer
actual
on
production is
camera.
gonna be it's gonna be way more fire. But I just want to say that I don't like how the culture's acting like J MILLZ. He can just battle more.
He can battle more, yes, but he got to brush up on a lot because I don't really see him beating nobody elite. At least.
I think he
can battle
probably
a
didn't
new
prepare
guy.
because what's interesting is that in the meet, maybe this was the face-off. That interview. I remember when I spoke to you about that, and the thing that I remembered was the fact that he did remember other people's shit, right? And I feel like he didn't come prepared. I feel like he came like he probably thought he had it based off of like the first round, and he probably thought he was going to take it with the first round.
I'm so glad you said that because that's what I was giving him as far as like backing, meaning like. Yeah. I'm like, this guy's going to be a problem because I don't know too many rap dudes in general, battle rap or not, that can actually, the way he was quoting these guys' bars and his own, like his own 15-year-old, like his bars, he's quoting bars of him as a youngin', you know, like effortlessly, like
so on
point.
He was studying,
like, come on, so you're a geek
He definitely studied.
He's a geek at it.
But he didn't study enough for this battle, it seems
especially
like.
not for
purpose,
Shine.
Though. Like, you got lazy. I'm saying own that. You was lazy because in the first round, those were like, they were almost like fake haymakers, some of those lines. But the second round, it's like, you stunk it up.
Yeah.
In the third round, you stunk it up.
Because my thing is, if you would have got better.
He paid no attention to that kid's lifestyle because that kid paid every attention to his lifestyle and kept quoting shit about his lifestyle to him. I feel like he was just like, let me drop a couple of hot bars. I feel like there was only a couple of that surface level. Like,
I can't respect that then. See, because like in meeting him, I wasn't getting that feeling. But one day this week, you know, while I'm in the sky, you start thinking, I'm like, I saw a blog. I'm like, did he really just do some Harlem shit and get a check?
Right, exactly.
Was it that? I hope you
And
did
then that's
that to me,
another
Mills,
thing,
man,
too.
because I was really vouching for you, B.
And that's
I was
another
some
thing
kind of
too.
way, man.
And that's another thing
I know I'm
too.
lit. Sorry.
You talk mad. He was talking mad
he
shit.
was talking
He made me go to the
wild
event. Because at first I was going to just get the pay-per-view like, yo. But when I seen your interview with him and he talking like, yo, yeah, I'm Oscar Robinson. I'm like, oh, nah, I got to see this up close.
He sold the battle.
Yeah, you sold the battle. And
No,
then you,
I'm saying, but it seemed
Stuck it
genuine
out.
to me. Again,
no, it was,
like
I
I
think it was
said, I
genuine.
love
think
the
it was.
energy.
That's Harlem shit, though. That's
No,
Harlem shit.
but it wouldn't be genuine. It'd be disingenuous if you did it for a bag.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
if
I
you
would hope
really-
that's not the case.
That's all I'm saying. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not
I
the
hope
case.
that's not the
I
case.
didn't feel that, but now I'm like, when you
Watching
really,
him on stage, I could probably see somebody saying maybe he did it because he was very like.
But even breaking it down, if the first round had all these like almost haymakers, right? Because I'm saying I might be being too nice with saying haymakers, but some of them with the proper execution could have really like they landed in the building.
Yes.
They could have been
He
haymakers.
got a lot of
in the
crowd
first
reaction
round. Yes, he did.
absolutely.
That's why I'm
He got a
giving
lot.
him that round. So then you just go in the second round and just
But
like.
I just think when you
I'm
watch
gonna
it back,
say but hold on, but you go in the second round, you just decide to kind of like just drop the ball. Then the third round, you're like, fuck it, I'm not even gonna shoot in the third round.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Really?
but I just feel like when you watch it back, you're gonna think that KSHINE won that round too, though.
I
just
watched
think his
it back,
material
and KSHINE,
better.
real talk.
And
back
with
to
the
that.
big haymaker with the even that.
KSHINE did not hit in the building, in my opinion. All that Uber shit was light reactions. The real hit was crab sticks, butter them up, something.
Yes,
Did you come in
when
the
he
way?
do his-
Like
when he do his
that shit
cadence.
was.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
when
fire
the crowd was
too.
like, "Ooh!"
But
Like-
the big shit
She
is
is
what
lit,
won the
ladies and
round to me.
gentlemen.
When he did that big shit,
Yeah, that was just, that's what I was saying
that
earlier.
solidified it right there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
for everybody but me, because me being there, I'm like,
I thought it
how
was
about
crazy,
you when
but
you
it
heard
wasn't
it? You
enough.
thought it was fire. I thought it was like,
and that's another
What
thing
is
I
that?
predicted. I predicted that Jay Mills was gonna have that in his round with the "Am I Trouble or What?" And I felt like that was a bad idea. And then I knew.
First of all, Jay Mills had the audacity to start his round with that.
Right, I was tight with that.
And it wasn't even like
You should have. It's too outdated.
no
for you to
effort.
even do that.
No, he
I don't
could
think
have.
he
No,
should. I
that's
don't
my
think he should
po-
have used that.
No, he could have used it, but flip your shit. KSHINE flipped Jay Mills' own shit on him.
Right.
In the third, the whole fuck you verse, KSHINE
Yeah.
bodied, like he reinvented the fuck you verse in the third. That's why I'm
Facts.
saying the third was, if he would have had three round threes, it would have been undeniably a body. I can't give him a body. No one's saying body.
So
They saying 30.
So it's
30.
safe to say, like, because
So what's a body though? If
So
it's
the-
not a 3-0.
But a 30 is,
How much
but no
more?
one's
a 30 is
saying
a body.
a 30 is but a 30 can be a light body.
But it could be
People
because
are
you
saying
can
3-0.
edge. You
No,
can
a
edge
30 is
every
not a
round
body.
3-0. That's why I'm asking what's a body.
You
by
have
1
a
point.
bat-
Yeah, you
like
can win
where
3
they-
games by 1 point.
You can.
Because you got people that
A
feel
light
like
body?
You
You
can
feel
win
it-
3 games by 1 point. You ain't kill him. It's like
I
yo,
just
you won
think
3
it's
games by
different
1
in
point.
battle rap though. Like a 30 is a body.
No, it's not. Yo.
I
You're
don't know.
casual.
Necessarily.
So then
That's
call it
not.
99.
That's what I'm saying.
You're
It all depends on how you
casual,
look at
son.
it because
Bro, what are you talking
I
about,
would
man?
think that 3-0 was a body, but then I've seen battles where it's like he won all
No,
3
because
rounds and he
there's a
didn't body
guy
him.
that could fight
You know what I'm
back.
saying?
Case in point, my bad. I
It
don't
is a-
agree, but QB versus Shuni, they trying to say that QB got all 3 rounds, but Shuni was fighting every single round. I'm saying it's debatable, right?
Right, so that's
but
really not a
she,
body,
It's not a
like,
body.
you know what I'm
She
saying?
did not body
It's
her.
funny, it's
she
funny.
didn't get her out of here.
That makes no sense to me. A 3-0, but that's like a slight 3-0. That doesn't
I
make
get
sense.
what you're saying
That's
too,
like
though. I
if you
understand
lose
what you're
every
saying.
damn game by 2 points. What you talking about?
That makes no sense to me. I'm
But
sorry.
if you lost by
Killing
2
it,
every game, you didn't get
Come
body.
on,
That's
man.
what
that
I'm
makes
saying.
no
You
sense.
didn't get killed. That's the same. Yeah,
My
that's what they
sports guy. You a
saying.
sports guy.
Exactly, and I don't see the correlation
But
though.
hold up.
If you lose all 3 games by 2 points, you didn't get your ass bust. You just lost.
How's that?
That's
you
what
don't
they
get that? You
said.
understand
That's what I'm
that?
saying. I don't understand that.
If
It's
you lose
in the
21-18
concept.
every game,
No.
that's not getting your ass bust.
I'm a sports
Now, if
dude.
you lose 21-10,
But why
then
you
you
don't
getting
get
your
that?
ass
Don't
bust.
explain
I don't
to
get-
me,
Yeah,
man.
that's
No.
what she. Yeah,
Oh,
y'all
you not
agree.
gonna agree with that?
I get
No.
it. No, you don't agree
He
with
don't
that.
My whole thing is
Oh,
because you saying
I think
because you saying I'm a sports dude. So break it down in sports. And sports is layman's term, simple, right? But as far as battle rap, a 3-0 and the way it's determined in battle rap is like that's a
No,
3-0.
it's not.
It's a body.
Yo. It's not
You can't.
automatically a body.
Then I don't respect the slight body in battle rap. Then that don't
You
make no
can
sense.
lose every round
battle rap
and
is
not
different. I'm
get
not gonna
bodied.
lie, it
Exactly.
is different because,
It's
like I
finicky.
said,
That don't make no sense to me.
There have been 3-0s that I've watched and he didn't get body because the dude,
Son,
the other dude,
Like you could
fought.
get swept in a
tap
5-game
tap the
series.
honey. Get off that.
That don't make sense to me, Reef. That don't make. Oh, I'm sorry, Carnegie.
We flossing.
What you agree with?
I think if you get swept in a 5-game series, you could lose all 3 games by 1 point. Like you could lose at a buzzer beater each time, and you ain't get killed, but you lost 3
How's that
games.
not?
So here's the thing: as a battle rapper, I hear that even though you came with it, you got body 3-0. I'm gonna take that some type of way. So my shit wasn't good enough to get like 1.
Oh, no.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give you a perfect battle right
You
now.
understand what
I'm
I'm
gonna give you a
saying?
perfect battle you can watch if
What?
you haven't seen it. That's a 3-0.
Yeah, play
but it's
that
not
guy.
a body.
What?
I'm gonna give you the perfect battle. Rain could probably
talking
agree
about,
with
man?
this right here.
All right.
A perfect 3-0 that's
what
not
are
a
you talking
body
about, man?
is
Exactly.
O-Red and Cortez. Cortez
Excuse me?
had fire.
No, I'm
O-Red
sorry.
versus Cortez.
I remember I posted some shit like that on Facebook. That was a body bag.
I don't think it
on
was
a body bag
You don't
and a
know,
body
dude.
bag.
You're out the loop,
Cortez
kid.
had fire, and he could have beat anybody
You
else.
don't want
But
the
just
smoke.
that day,
Smoke, though. You see him right. He's ducking the
O-Red
smoke.
just was on another. He was on another level, and I feel like that's a 3-0. That's not a body.
That was a.
You're ducking the smoke, kid. You're
Nah,
ducking
I'm not
the
ducking
smoke.
no smoke. That was terrible. And I like Cortez, but that wasn't every round that he came with. Red round was just
What's
as
another
better.
round?
Right.
I'm
but
sorry.
don't
That
mean
was
he
a bad
got
example. You
bodied,
gotta give me
though.
another one because that was
All right, let me
terrible.
see.
That was
see.
body bag of the
Got
year that I
3-0.
saw. And I like Cortez.
Do you think that it was a body?
I don't understand how you think it was a body when
That
you
was a
said
body.
that Jay Mills got the first round.
No, I'm refuting that whole concept. What you said, like a 3-0.
I know, but
Like,
if you
that's
can't,
the
like
whole
a 3-0 was a
You
body
can-
no matter what.
Like it's like there's no
If you
like
lose
the-
every three- all
yeah,
three
like there's
rounds,
no like
body.
slight
Hey,
3-0.
hello. So the
here.
consensus is Jay Mills versus KSHINE, 3-0 KSHINE. That's the consensus. So how come you can't get the concept?
No. So then here we
That's
go.
the consensus.
No,
Our opinion is not the dominant opinion.
I know that, but I'm refuting what you were saying. You said there's such thing as like a.
I'm
correct
trying
me
to
if I'm
explain
wrong.
it. I'm saying if you can gather,
Okay.
if you're saying that Jay Mills got the first round,
Yeah.
but the consensus is that he lost all 3 rounds, how come you can't understand the concept that a 30 can not be a body?
Because you're saying that it's it's undeniable, right? Like some people out there would say it's undeniable, but there are some people, they're outliers like you, Rain, myself, who would believe that Jay Mills took the first round. So that part makes it debatable. So it's not a clear body because everybody can't be hands down he got it.
But the consensus
Even though
is
most
he
people-
got 30.
So I'm just going.
how
I'm
you
just.
don't understand the
I'm gonna.
concept?
I'm gonna concede to the point because I understood where you. I understood from what I understand. You said 3-0, but it was a slight whatever. That's what I'm refuting. So that's fine. I just need to watch the whole battle. You actually saw the whole battle, so I can't really give my full interpretation of what I think who won. But
I
I don't
still feel
win.
like you
Gonna
can't
do
cast
better, man.
judgment.
Yeah, huh?
You can. I still feel like you can't cast judgment off. Well, maybe that's me. Off of watching it one time, I feel like you do have to look at it a couple of times and
Absolutely.
scrutinize.
No, that's what I
the
just
shit that
said. I
they-
didn't see
every
it.
battle
I gotta
you
No,
watch
I'm
it.
just speaking
more
about
than
every battle
at
in
least
general. I'm not
5
refuting
times.
what you're saying. Relax. Why
Can
you
I
keep
You don't
ask-
want the smoke.
Can I ask a
I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke.
2 turned up.
Remember
I
that-
want all the
Definitely want
smoke.
It's a B-Day.
I want all the smoke.
Remember
Turn
that
up, son.
year?
You drinking Paul Masson. Come on,
and he's,
turn up.
Yeah,
he's
that Paul
dead
Masson
serious
make niggas
about
want to
it.
fight
He
too.
is
So
not.
that Paul Masson, that shit is dangerous.
No, I'm just trying to
Get with
I'm
the
just
bougie
trying to.
shit.
I'm just trying to understand.
But he's mad reserves. That's scary.
So I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to understand, because you said there's a slight body with a 3-0. So I was just going for that part.
But then
That's why I didn't understand. But then when you said the whole, you went by 2 in each game in a 3-5 game, so I'm like,
That's
that
the
don't.
equivalent.
That's not to me. It doesn't make
is.
sense.
It is.
Doesn't make
But
sense.
how
to
Getting
me.
don't
swept
make
in
no
a
sense,
5-game series and you lose all 3 games on a buzzer beater. You
A
lost
3-0 can't be
3-0.
close though. That's what I'm saying. A 3-0
If
in
you
battle.
lost 3 games by 1 point,
So they
if
call
that's
it a
close every
2.8
game,
then.
Okay,
I
K-Shine, you yell. That means you right.
No, but
But that's the beauty of battle rap. The fact that it's opinionated and you could
Yeah,
see
but that's what I'm saying. Like
different
basketball
points.
is pretty much just black and white. Like with battle rap, you really can't do that, in my opinion.
okay, I feel you.
That's
You're
what I'm saying. You
there's no
can't really
Yeah,
do
correlation.
that.
it's
There's no
definitely the fact that's
correlation.
opinionated. It makes it very difficult.
Yeah.
I can see somebody
You
winning
can't
3 rounds
do
by a
that.
little bit.
The opinions are
That's what
being.
I'm
You
saying.
can't do that.
can.
If the I just said we think that Jay Mills won the first round, so
Yeah.
that's
Except me.
So all right. So us and the other people too. There are people that are saying I agree. Right.
Yes.
That's probably less than 10% of the people. 2-1
Mm-hmm.
is the call. The consensus is
You got body.
KSHINE caught a 30.
30.
That's proving right there that a 30 is not a body. If people think
That's
that
a
he
good point.
didn't get body, if
You
he
gave Jay
won the
Mills.
first
Sorry,
round.
you gave Jay Mills the
She
first round.
did.
You gave Jay Mills the first round too.
That's fine. All I'm saying is a slight 3-0 is not a body.
I guess what you're saying is if you lose all 3 rounds, you got body.
Right, I get what he's
that's
saying
what I'm
too.
saying.
I get it.
That's what I'm saying.
I just don't agree with it because I watched.
It's a body.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta watch it.
That's not true. You can't.
Most people are not gonna agree with that. Though.
That's my unpopular opinion.
No, this is where I can't concede to that because because there are rules. Like there are rules, right? And I'm saying to you that a rule is a 3-0 does not mean it's a body. A 30 does not mean body. That's not a body. That means you won the battle. That's it.
Yes,
you
the
won all
consensus
3 rounds,
is gonna agree with that though.
If you have a fighter, it's a fight. You can't judge fights the same way that you judge basketball. Actually, we do, but it's more like boxing. So if you have 3 rounds, and out of 3 rounds, 3 boxing rounds, right? A boxer can fight better than the other boxer for 2 rounds or whatever.
Okay.
Same thing.
Got you.
He didn't knock him out. It's not a KO, is it?
Okay. So here's the thing. You lost me at the whole comparison with basketball because it's black and white. What you just said, boxing. Can you let me finish?
No, I'm trying to explain.
I'm about to say you right. I'm about to say you right.
That's the language. Basketball is the language, but it's not necessarily the format.
The analogy was wrong. Wrong sport. With boxing, you got me on that one because you can count. You can. That's the best correlation with boxing. Okay. So you got me on that one.
Salute.
Not even got me, but you changed my unpopular opinion on that analogy. all right.
That was fire.
See, you know, I can concede. High five.
Actually,
isn't it great?
Oh boy, here we go.
It can count in basketball if it is that a poor call was made on a tie. #.
Yo, that's what I'm gonna play every time you say something. That's
why?
what I'm gonna play.
Why? Because you want to silence me?
Make your point.
No, I'm saying like technically, like a decision like that could be made, or like a decision like that could be made if it is that the game is at a tie, and the ref makes a poor call, a call that you think is some trash, but you think is right. So technically, it can happen. Just saying. You know it makes sense though. Thank you.
Yo, this guy's retarded, yo. Why you doing like that, man?
I told you I was coming for you. Makes sense. I told you I was coming for you.
But
I told you.
But the consensus will still say
there's
it
no
makes
consensus.
Sense.
No. You know what? Russell, what you say?
What?
I said that technically it can still count.
That's the best interview response ever.
Remember MILLZ changed his voice for like a year though? Remember it sounded
well, he had
super
like a
different.
tumor.
He had a tumor in his throat.
Oh, okay.
But
I
mean,
I didn't know that was crazy.
So
I didn't know that.
We'll just wait for the footage to come out. But I wanted to talk about real quick Carnegie. What's your beef with Michael B. Jordan, man?
Let's talk about that.
Oh, you thought I wasn't going to mention that?
I mean, what I will say is this. I mean, he's doing his thing.
Y'all the same complexion.
What the fuck that mean?
I'm just saying.
But what I will say is since he has blown up, I hear it a lot in comparison to myself, and I don't like that kind of shit. I hate, you look like, you sound like, I hate that shit, period. So I hate when anybody does that to me.
That's not bad for you. You're a rapper, though. He's not a rapper.
No. I don't mean, but, I definitely do, acting and stage kind of stuff. So with that is, you look like this one. Oh, you should. And then that being said, this happened the past couple years. Boom, he does the Kobe Bryant commercial where he's playing Kobe Bryant early. Anybody knows me knows how I feel about Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I was about to say, how did you feel about that?
I was tight. Anybody knows me knows how I feel about Rocky. This motherfucker does the Rocky spinoff. I'm fucking tight. Now continuously, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't realize how deep that was.
So this is what I'm saying. It's just continuously, and it just
at least it ain't Tito.
But you
Jackson?
I'm just saying.
Yo,
yeah.
I mean, nah,
you
I
don't
don't
think he
like
killed?
nobody.
You don't think he killed?
Nah, he kills.
Pause. Pause.
Wait, what?
Killed the Creed part?
Oh, I think you said you don't think he's cute.
Oh, nah,
Oh no, that's what I thought he said. Is that not what you said?
Pause alert.
Hell no. I didn't hear that, bro. I heard what you said.
That's what I thought you said. Wait, what did you actually say?
Killed.
Nah, he said, do you think he
Oh,
killed it?
that ain't what I thought you said.
Nah, I could have sworn you said, don't you think he cute? Don't you think he cute?
No, bro. He didn't say that.
Nah.
That is
They
what I
trying to
thought
play
you
you, son.
said.
He didn't say that. I heard it.
Did you hear him say that? You heard him say that? They think he cute?
He's over there. He's like, I'm like Switzerland. I have no idea.
Yeah, that was
Turned
crazy.
up for the party.
didn't say that. He ain't say that. He did kill a Creed part, and he's dope, but I just don't like being compared to nobody. And then when the whole book situation came about, it was always, oh, they're gonna turn to the movie, Michael B. Jordan gonna play you, and then that was the real cherry on top to me, being like, yo, fuck this nigga.
Introduce
yeah,
the
please
book,
do.
the
What's
title,
why?
to tell a story.
What is your beef?
Come on, Carnegie, man.
What is your beef? You're dancing. In the words of J. Mills.
Well, no. All of that stuff happened before the book even came about. So this is what I'm saying to lead up to that. So Tia Williams wrote a book called The Perfect Find. I happen to be one of the characters within the book, the love interest within the book. So now Gabrielle Union has purchased the rights to the book, and they're turning it into a movie in which Gabrielle Union will play Tia in the movie. Now it's all, oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan's gonna play you. So added on to all of this shit that I'm saying, now they're telling me he's literally about to play me. So now I'm super tight. So I don't give a fuck how good of an actor you are. No, fuck that. I don't care how good of an actor you are. You can't play me better than me, Michael B. Jordan, wherever you are. I don't care.
Now that I respect.
Fuck that.
I respect that.
So that's
but
what
I think that's a hell of a.
It's dope, and if he does, it is dope. But fuck that, me.
At least he's now admitting that it's dope.
To play you, actually.
He's dope, but
you getting your
life.
You getting like part of your life story done early, man.
I mean,
and that's bars, bro. You can put that in.
Nah, fuck that. You know what's more bars? Me in it, and me being me playing myself.
You cannot give me any advice. You cannot give me any advice.
That's
fire. Congrats on that, bro.
He's the man. I mean, they definitely like, the book is incredible. If anybody wants to go get it, it's The Perfect Find. Tia Williams is an incredible writer. Her book previous to that was on New York Times bestseller. Like, she's incredible. So, look up. She's doing a million things now. So the book is dope, and Michael B. Jordan is definitely dope too. But fuck you, bro. You play me, son.
Damn.
Nah. Like,
drop a bomb for that.
So don't play me, bro.
He really feels excited about it.
Now you're gonna have probably.
Fuck you, bro. I mean, it's all love. Like, and I've seen a lot of behind the scenes things. I think he'd probably be dope. He's a dope dude. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I hate people. Oh, you look like this, but I hate that. Like my whole life, I really hated that. So
the hate is real.
I don't like that shit. That's the worst thing you could do is tell me, oh, you look like, oh, you sound like. I'm gonna be tight. So don't save that.
I realized.
So
I was like, oh, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, nah.
Fuck MBJ.
Fuck my.
Got it.
Yeah,
so
nah.
it's safe to say that you won't be seeing Creed 2.
Oh no, I'm gonna definitely see it. And interestingly enough, I also made a song called Clubber Lang because fuck Michael B. Jordan, and Clubber Lang was always better than Apollo Creed. So I said I'm Clubber Lang's son, and we gonna drop the Clubber Lang video the day that Creed drops.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire. That is fire though. Clubber was that nigga.
Clubber Lang was way more swaggy than Creed, bro. That's what
I've been seeing Clubber Lang a lot here lately.
Okay, so in Rocky 1, he fights Apollo Creed.
Okay.
Rocky 2, he fights Apollo Creed. That's who Michael B. Jordan is, the son of Apollo Creed. And Rocky 3, Mr. T's character is Clubber Lang, who was way more swagged up,
was a monster.
Sidebar,
so that's my shit.
I saw something today where battle rap was included in the Creed 2 movie. Something with BET. Shout out to all the battle rappers. That was,
word. I didn't even know
that. Lux, Sirius Jones.
They in the movie?
Well, they in some kind of clip. But shout out to K Walker. I'm gonna be out. K Walker is a new up and coming guy.
Oh, they did like
Philly.
a scene where people are
rapping
rapping outside.
I don't know if it's a scene, but I think it's a battle. So K Walker battle Reed Dollars. They both from Philly.
Oh shit,
you know
that's
dope. But I don't know if it's
dope.
gonna be in the movie or if it's a part of promo or what's gonna happen.
Hopefully it's in the movie. That'd be fire.
Because actually in the movie, I think the first one in the first Creed, they had like a boxing, dancing scene in Philly type shit.
Yeah.
The
same dude.
Shout out to what's the name
That's dope to
too.
include the
Trump was in that
culture.
joint,
The culture,
part
you know what I
one.
mean? That's fire.
The same dude who directed Black Panther directed Creed 1 and
Yeah,
Creed 2.
Yeah. So he definitely
Ryan
probably
Coogler,
is.
good job.
Hopefully he put that joint in. That'd be fire.
So I'll be remiss if I didn't bring this up. My mentor, shout out to my mentor Kathleen Sullivan, about voting. Did you guys vote?
Yes, I did.
Crickets. I voted.
Chip.
So did I.
But I do have go ahead.
And you know why I brought it up?
Yeah.
I'm a dickhead. And I vote for myself.
What?
Every time I vote because that's the
Bro,
candidate.
what are you talking about,
That's
bro?
the candidate that best supports my interests. I'm only said Rasta don't support no CIA, and I really don't feel like either one of these. There's never been a time. I voted for Obama. I'll say that. I voted for Obama.
I think everybody at the table voted for Obama, but I only voted for him once.
That's the only time. Not.
Identity
I voted
politics.
for twice.
Identity politics.
I voted for him once. I voted for him in 2008. After that, no. It was just a matter of me. Politics now, we have this love-hate relationship. Right now, it's at a hate relationship. I just think like politics.
Right now?
Politics. My whole thing is like they don't really give too much. They don't really care about as far as what's going on in society. I would say urban society.
And that's why I vote for me. And when I say I vote for
And
me,
I
you
feel
say
you.
I'm bugging.
No. I
I'm
just
saying
the way
that
I just
they don't
never.
really
It was
care
just
about
I
crazy.
write myself in, bro. I got a
No.
couple
I
I feel.
think-
I fuck with you on
president.
that.
I think
fuck with you on
oftentimes,
that.
For
I
president,
fuck with you on
there's a
that.
couple votes for me.
I think oftentimes
Hey.
people think about the seat, like the president seat, and some people might even think about like the Senate and
Hold up.
stuff like that.
Let me
But
get
I
to
think
my
people
notes.
underestimate.
Took notes.
I think people underestimate the power of like local government. I feel like it's because the local government don't maybe they don't put forth enough effort to educate folks about what it is that they're doing or what it is that they have like impact over. But I think we fall into the habit of doing that, and we fall into the habit of only taking like voting seriously when it comes to like big elections because we don't understand like what the local government is doing.
True.
And I feel like that's problematic because like the reality is like your local government is who it is that is like
The local, yes.
working for your interests.
And my rebuttal to that is this: like, where was the local government when Amadou Diallo was shot umpteen times? Where was the local government when all of these shootings were happening? My whole thing is they know what's going on in society, but what's stopping them from making that change? Right? What is stopping them? So
What could a politician have
Exactly.
done
What
to
cha-
stop
so what
that,
change are
though?
you
So my whole
seeking?
thing is it's like, okay, have some type of accountability to the NYPD. Have them go through different types of screening, whereas
Well,
you
these
know,
local elections don't have the power to do that.
but
That's
no.
only like that-
So
that's like governor,
who
mayor
has the
kinda
power?
shit.
Nah.
Yeah, bro. The people that you're electing, they
Government.
don't have the
Here's the thing.
mayor,
the
like
common-
governor, mayor has that
The
power.
common government
I feel
is
you.
something I have no faith in.
You
So-
feeling they all in cahoots with each other? So,
Yeah, exactly. It is,
I feel like if you have not fully educated yourself on the extent of the impact of your government, you cannot fairly make that statement.
I've been involved as far as activism, as far as with the government, since I was 17 years old. So this is something Specify. So real quick, I was a part of this youth activist group in high school called Sanity, which means Students Against Nuclear Insanity for Tomorrow's Youth. And we actually were in charge of youth caucuses at the United Nations, educating high school scholars on anti-nuclear warfare and the hazards it has into an environment. And I actually sat in front of the deputy mayor at the time. I believe it was Cuomo's son, one of the two. And he actually laughed at us because we came with facts on how the nuclear power plant, Indian Point, was hazardous to the environment. And it was just to a point where we're giving you these facts, but at the same time, you're laughing at us because we're the youth and you think we don't have anything to really, give to society that could be conducive to changing something. So as far as the government, and I get on that, but just to give you a background on what I do or what I've done, it's just a matter of I don't have faith into because they don't care about our skin color.
Have you followed anything that whomever it was that you spoke to, like anything that he's done with that thereafter?
Nothing. There's nothing been done. That's the oldest nuclear power plant that we have in the United States, and it's still standing in New Jersey. And also, anything can happen. If something were to explode on accident, New York City will be wiped out in 30 seconds.
Shit.
So it's just a matter of that shit is still going on. And the fact that we still have these nuclear weapons and we're just pretty much boasting, sticking our chests out like, listen, we still haven't gotten our comeuppance from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. What makes you think that shit can't happen to us? You understand what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of, I just think we need to be a bit more proactive or collectively put the power back into the people's hands as far as making a change. Which segues into what?
So did you vote?
That's real.
Excuse me?
So did you vote?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And that's real. But one of the issues.
No, and I'll
I
explain.
ain't
No,
voting.
I'll explain to you why. Like, I voted because I had my arms tied, my hands tied, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to vote. But at the same time, I didn't feel like anything would be done. I just did it just to do it. I just feel like ultimately it has nothing to do with what we vote on and what ballots we choose. We have to realize the power within us as a people. We can't
Facts.
leave it to the government because at the end of the day, the government has shown year after year, 4 years after 4 years, that they are letting us down. We are still getting killed out there. We still have people being hung, people then saying that it was suicide. We still got cops killing us. We still got inexperienced fucking cops in the environment, in these urban environments, these urban areas, not doing us justice. So it's just a matter. And I've come from that environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've come from that shit. Like, just because this is my skin color, I'm getting held up because they think I'm selling drugs.
Nah,
like, what type of shit is that? Like,
I think a lot of this time around, I think they made it very clear on why we should vote. You know what I'm saying? I know a couple past years, like when Obama was in office, of course, unfortunately, it might sound ignorant, but they were saying, you know, he's a black man, yo, vote for him.
Fuck it.
This time around, now it's like, all right, if you feel like how you feel, if you feel that passionate about it, make sure you vote Democrat so we can take back the House.
So here's the thing. What does that mean?
So that just means that there's no more I take it as there's no more middle class, and if you don't want these rich white people to keep running shit, vote Democrat.
What it means
like I
is
said, that might
anything that
sound
needs to
ignorant,
go-
but that's the consensus I got with people that I was talking to that were voting. You know what I'm saying?
it's about having the opportunity or having like a majority vote. Most of the folks in the House supporting like a lot of the policies that like Democratic representatives are in support of, like Obamacare, right? It was like overturned because the House was predominantly Republican. So that's what that means, and that's the impact of your voting.
Right.
If you put more Democrats in the House, then they're more inclined to support the policies that you that you are in favor of. That's why that element is important. Do you feel the impact of that? I don't know. But do you want folks to have like free health care? Right?
I just think the power needs to go back to the people and not into the government, because that's where it was. That's where it is currently.
It never was away from the people. The people always relinquish their power because they think they need somebody else to come and save them.
Oh.
I just don't.
That was bars.
Bars, no bars.
Bars. That's a new segment. That was
How
bars.
do we get there, though?
Exactly. My whole thing is that's even with selecting a president. And like, I feel like at the end of the day, they say vote, vote, vote. But at the end of the day, it's still based upon an electoral college. We just get the popular vote. What does that mean? That means shit.
Also, I feel like they need to change. Speaking on the president thing, I think they just need to change the requirements. Number one, you only need 2 fucking things to be the president. I don't like that.
I mean, that shit was put in purpose. That shit was put in place purposely to ensure that they would still be able to keep the presidency, because they knew places like New York would always be more progressive and would have more people to vote more. So if they went by popular vote, Democrats would almost always win because majority of people are poor. So the electoral college was put in place to ensure that Republicans could still win, because they'll still own places like, you know, Texas, those places like that. So that shit was done on purpose.
It was pretty much because they didn't trust the knowledge of the people, because of the misinformed, because that's what they feared.
Yeah, you seen that clip where Donald Trump said if he was going to run, he would run Republican because they so stupid. Like, if you go to play, and I don't mean to say nothing, but you go like to these hick towns, like the poorest fucking people will be voting Republican.
He said that shit about 20 years ago.
Yeah, you go to Kentucky and these fucking trailer parks and shit and all that, and they all fucking poor, and then you go ask them who they voted for, Trump.
And it's their dumbasses who on welfare.
Yeah,
and it's their dumbasses who on welfare.
A lot of them did vote for him.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you're so blinded by the stupid shit, and that's why they will continue to be elected.
Makes no sense.
But
no, I agree with you though. It definitely
makes
makes no sense, and it's hard to kind of like be all political and trying to, you know, figure out where you stand with it, because like you said, all these issues that we really go through, that's real life. Nothing.
That shit.
Changed.
Nothing's gonna change about that.
Yeah.
because we are dispensable.
Dude, white dude, whatever. Like, I just feel like.
I just don't think things happen that quickly. Revolutions take time. Like when we spoke of a couple episodes ago, we're still standing on the backs of hundreds of years of European domination, so it's not ever going to change in a year or 2 years or 5 years. I think we are progressively making progress towards that place. I think this whole Trump thing is their last hurrah. This is old white men's last hurrah, because kids that are being born now, they're super progressive. They're not thinking in terms of black, white, gay, straight. They don't give a fuck about that. So
what was
40, 50 years from now, it's going to be totally different.
So what was Obama? What was that?
Obama was that step in that right direction to kick down the door.
And then we took a step back.
Well,
I mean, the thing with elections is America usually does that. We have one person, and then the people are usually unhappy, and then we go back. We get a Republican, we're unhappy with that, then we go Democrat. Then we're unhappy with that, we go Republican. That's usually how elections work if you look at history. That's how it is, because the population is always going to be unhappy. People are always going to be dying, working too hard, doing whatever. So that's what we have the tendency to do. But I think Trump's his election was the last hurrah of like old rich white men trying to hold on to what they had and what America was built on.
Next term,
I don't think he's gonna get elected in next term because even the Republicans are like, "Yo, he's a dick."
Well, we got to think about it like
fuck
this.
with this dude.
In actuality, he lost. In actuality,
he lost a popular vote, but he won the electoral college.
In actuality,
he
lost to Hillary, but
he won the electoral college.
Exactly. Okay. So it's like, what are you really voting?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a matter of when you're voting for a president, it's like, okay, we ain't got shit else to do. Why not just vote?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, not going to count anyway.
In New York, when
a lot of people was thinking about it, lesser of two evils. You can vote for a woman.
I get depressed when I talk about Trump.
I really don't want to say his name.
I can't really fuck with Hillary.
I can't fuck with her either, but at least I know that she, like, Hillary was speaking to people of color, right? She knew she had to prove herself is not
you
like
think
not
it was
racist.
Genuine, though?
Absolutely not.
So
but I prefer to know that she a piece of shit and know that she's gonna try and woo us over than to know that Trump don't give a shit and don't give a shit about us not giving a shit.
Yeah, fuck you.
Like I prefer, even though I appreciate his honesty.
But again, that's lesser of two evils. Like everybody said, that's why I vote for me.
Bill would have been heavily influencing her.
Yeah, better finish
if she was in there.
And
you know what I'm saying? Bill would have been right there, so I kind of would be like, I mean, I get it. But
I don't fuck with Bill like that. And I was mad at people older than me, like my mom. I remember growing up, and I've never said anything negative about my mom ever.
Watch
13.
But
I remember being a kid, and my family being,
Bill
Clinton's the man. And all this nigga did was play the fucking saxophone on Arsenio Hall. But the policies that he instilled, fuck black people, man.
Watch 13.
Like, fuck Bill Clinton, man. He wasn't no fucking black president.
It's because he's the only president that was working to speak to black people.
To us, yeah.
And then he was and then he was villainized by his own people because of his issue. So other people that made him popular amongst black folks too. You had black people talking about, oh, he the first black president. Sound like jackasses.
But not for nothing.
Right.
Even with our former president Barack Obama, people fail to mention this. Even though comparison to Trump's immigration laws, Barack Obama was responsible for just as many immigrants being sent back to their native land.
How so?
Excuse me? It just wasn't like he wasn't trying to hold them back like kids and shit like that. But he had his immigration laws as well. They weren't as strenuous as Trump's.
They were nowhere.
I feel like they were under different pretenses. I feel like they were under exactly.
That if you are from a country,
that's what I just said.
Come in, bro. Yeah. That's drastically.
That's what I just said. Man. No. The fact.
What you said is that he was responsible, and I feel like it's immature for any of us to think that any of the presidents wouldn't be responsible. They're responsible for Homeland Security, right?
Yeah.
Barack Obama was just coming on the heels of a presidency where there were two planes crashing in buildings. Yeah. So he had to prove himself strict on Homeland Security. He had to show that look, I'm here to protect the interests, especially when you had people questioning his citizenship. He had to come in firm, showing that look, the interest is of the American people. I'm here to protect our homeland. He didn't do it in a way that was demoralizing. He didn't do it in a way that was dehumanizing, and that's the difference. We understand. Everybody in this country, we're immigrants, and that's the thing that Trump acts like he forgets. Right? Well, I don't think he knows shit. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that he doesn't.
How can he forget that with his?
Exactly, but then he sits down there and talks shit. But that's because he has no value for people. What people loved about Barack Obama is that despite anything, even in having to make a hard decision, there was integrity behind the way that he approached it. He spoke to people with respect. He approached everything respectfully, and that's all we want. This other guy, he has no respect for humans. Period.
I just feel like with Barack Obama, we tend to, and I've gotten to this debate with my dad a couple times. It's just a matter of. He was black, but at the same time, I felt like when he inherited the office, I just felt when he kept saying, oh, we're going to get our troops out of Iraq, we're going to get them out of what. They were there from the time he got in office, from the time his last term in 2016.
Because it couldn't happen right away. That would have been for anyone who thought for anyone. Okay, so hear me out, right? Him even making a strong statement like that.
Don't make it.
To some degree, no, it's not. Don't make it. It was there was many things about it that were irresponsible. However, he developed a plan to bring folks home. He wasn't able to articulate timeline and things of that nature. He couldn't be shut shit down in Iraq, Afghanistan, bring them back. back.
No,
That
like
would have been irresponsible.
70% of the troops
it would have
came
put,
back,
it would have
though,
put, but exactly. So, like, it would have put our country at risk. I feel like oftentimes people have shit to say. I feel like regardless, like any person who's leading this country, they're gonna be in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Absolutely.
You gonna let me have motherfucking Barack Obama though? You gonna let me say he was the best goddamn president? And you gonna let me keep that shit? Yes, when it comes to Barack Obama, we're very protected. You're goddamn right.
But this, you gotta understand.
You're damn right.
Right. You gotta understand.
I'ma say it.
You gotta understand too that he's in a very tough spot being a black man that was the president, bro. Because you got to think about it. If he would have came in on some Al Sharpton shit, half of that shit he accomplished.
They would have killed him.
You feel what I'm saying? So now he gotta. Not only does he have to like be the president for both races, he can't make it seem like he's leaning on us more.
Yeah, he was the
like,
president of America, not black people.
Yeah, it's a touchy situation.
I don't want it to get misunderstood where I'm thinking he's just supposed to be change the whole world for black people. No, but at the same time, notice what I said as far as bringing the troops home. He actually did give a timeline. He said within the 2 years. It went beyond that. Oh. So what I'm saying
is
like 70% of the troops.
It wasn't 70. I'm telling you, it was less than that. It was less than that. I don't know the exact number, but it was less than that. But at the same time, it's just a matter of if you want this, yes, we can. We have to build America strong, whatever the case is. It's like you're anti-war, but yet you are keeping these powerful weapon, right? Nuclear warfare, and then the fact that you're still in this third world country, still trying to do whatever it is that you're doing in that third world country, trying to get Osama bin Laden, right? Waking everybody up in the middle of the night to make sure he got it. Because he was a threat to Homeland Security. Because he was a threat to Homeland.
How do we know that fully?
We don't, but that's the picture that was painted. So for everyone in America, like until that man was caught, everyone was going to live in some sort of fear.
And that's the whole point. And I think even with Barack Obama, even with any president, fuck that. It's just a matter of how do you how do you control America, control the people? You manipulate them with what? With fear. With the fear of like, this person, he is bad.
But I don't think that was Barack Obama's approach. I think he came into a circumstance. I think he came into a circumstance where fear was already there, and he had to respond to that fear in order to neutralize the country.
Right.
We're not going to do this because you're going to give me an opportunity to like bring up facts. We're not going to do this.
I can bring up facts too.
Because you ain't going to disrespect the first black president.
Listen,
of this country.
I'm not refuting what he.
We ain't going to talk shit about him and not Trump. And I refuse.
No. I'm anti-Trump. I don't even like saying his name, but at the same time, we just gotta call a spade a spade.
Whatever the hell they
We just gotta call a spade a spade. Like just because Barack Obama, he was our first black president. Every president has their flaws.
Yes.
Every president.
I agree.
People say
every human does, McCray. Look how many
look
kids.
Look
how many of them 8th graders be like, McCray promised us a meal and he ain't never give it to us.
Oh.
Right? We all
where they
disappoint.
pizza party at? Where they pizza party?
We all disappoint. We all disappoint. We all don't meet the expectations.
Oh, got you. Where's the voice?
Where's the pizza party?
Bomba clap. We need the sound
Where's the pizza party?
I got you right now.
We bringing one of the kids on the show next week to talk about the pizza party.
Where's the pizza party?
You cannot give me any advice. You cannot give me. You cannot give me any advice.
Oh, he getting at you. Shots fired.
Nah, what I will say is
Anyway.
I don't really throw my 100% blind allegiance behind any president because I feel like to an extent they're all kind of, puppets. Has anybody ever seen that interesting?
Idiocracy?
No, the thing that this like 8th grade girl in like Nebraska or something did a fucking project, and every president can draw their lineage back to one king in England from like 1,000 years ago. Have you ever seen it? Every fucking president, Obama included, every one. Yo, look at it. I'll send y'all the YouTube clip. She did it and before, like scientists had done the study before, and they had I think 30-something presidents, but they were only using the father's lineage. She did it with the mother and father's lineage, and every fucking president can be traced back to one king of England like a couple thousand years ago. So I think they're all puppets. But what I will say is the ramifications of seeing a black man in the White House speaks volumes for us as a people, speaks volumes for our children, that when they look at the television, they can say, yo, I can aspire to be that one day.
But that was the biggest impact of his presidency. That was the biggest impact of his presidency. One of the biggest things that changed, he was a president that engaged. He was a president that engaged with popular culture, and he did a lot. Like, even though people of color, hear me out. People of color might not recognize this, but what he did was disrupted media, which means he subsequently disrupted how kids are coming up in society and the images that they have to see see of themselves on television. And like people might not think that that's enough, but healthcare and media in itself, like two big ass industries, one of them that controls our like value and worth of self. That's a big fucking deal. And I understand like people are not paying attention because people are naturally going to scrutinize him from their personal perspectives, from the things that matter to them, right? Like people in Chicago will let y'all know that there are a lot of people in Chicago who weren't huge fans of him even when he was running for president, and that has to do with like his local leadership. For whatever reasons those are, people are going to support him and like as so long as his values like impact the issues that are close to them. But what he has done for media, for black media, there's so much more black people on television right now, and like the impact that's gonna have on the lives of children. I remember when they did the Kyrie Davis experiment in the early and the original experiment was done in the 1970s, if I'm not mistaken, where they had these kids that were choosing dolls, and you had both black kids and white kids who were more inclined to choose the white dolls, and like the impact that has on a child's psyche. I already told y'all that black people are walking around here with all types of post-traumatic stress syndrome just off of the strength of being black. So for me, that is a big deal. Like what he's doing for like just like the appreciation of fucking like your existence, that's a big deal. Thank him later.
Way bigger than the policy. Like I could give a fuck about
like,
he said he was gonna do this.
Yeah, like all that other shit.
Because
like,
they all puppets.
Because Osama, like for me, when you sign up for the military, now hear me out. When you make a decision to sign up for the military, you are signing up for the military, understanding the risk of being deployed. You understand that you are taking a risk, and understand. My dad was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. Some of my close friends. But these people signed up to protect our interests. And I don't think that it's fair. Oh, God, it's Veterans Day. Shout out to all the veterans on Veterans Day.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to all the veterans on Veterans Day.
Salute to
Thank you for
veterans.
everything that you have done for this country.
We love y'all,
However,
for real.
to sit down there and debate about the timeline, like that's bullshit, and that's taking away from what the real impact of his issue of what he did was. Don't relegate him to that. Don't relegate him to not meeting a timeline when half of us can't be to work on time. Because I showed up here 30 minutes late.
Same shit I was saying about
I'm just saying,
artists.
right?
Same shit.
I showed up here 30 minutes. I didn't. I'm just. But what I'm saying is like don't judge him off of basic human like error. Like those things matter because they speak to character, but substance and context matters most.
That's not
and
bullshit.
impact
But that's
matters
not-
most.
I
And
don't-
so when you come to me with a real circumstance about like why it is that we need to scrutinize him as a president, then I'm willing to entertain this conversation. Until then, like don't even do it.
I'm gonna continue. So my whole thing is just a matter of like when you just mentioned, as far as bringing troops home, think about the families who are waiting for those people to
and
come
I feel
home.
really sad that
You
they're
understand
waiting.
that?
I feel really sad that they're waiting. I hate that they fucking have to do that. But these people signed up for those jobs, and it was okay. It was fine and dandy when you were damn. This is gonna be fucked up on Veterans Day. But it was fine and dandy when you was doing that shit, right? When you was signing up because you were gonna get your college and shit paid for, but you expect to go to war. That is a part of it.
We don't even know why we were over there.
You right. And that's why I'm not going to sign up for the
inherited that,
military.
though.
That's why I'm not signing up for the military because I don't know what the fuck we fighting for. But if you make the choice to do it, then goddamn it, you made the choice to do it.
And that's besides the point. And I can honestly say this, and I don't care what flack I get. But
I
it's
do
a
love
matter
all
of
the vets. Thank y'all.
that's awesome. I love the vets too.
I definitely
My sister
do.
was a vet. Like
Yeah,
my
I
life
appreciate
has
those
not.
vets.
My life wasn't changed or impacted any way since when Obama was. in
Bro,
office.
as a teacher,
Ooh,
how the fuck
How?
can you
Yo,
say that, bro?
Thank you very much. Thank you
How?
very much.
What do you
Because
I'm all ears.
education became decentralized to a different degree when Obama became president.
I'm-
You think all of these
Huh?
charter schools exist now for no reason?
Come on.
Mad disrespectful.
man.
Come
Charter
on, man.
schools?
The deregulation. Let me explain something to you. Charter schools existed for a very, very, very long
They
time.
did.
With Obama's presidency, now you're gonna have to give me a moment to do my due diligence. But there's not coincidence in the boom of the charter school industry and the amount of schools that have like the deregulation of the school system and the fact that like you have people who can go in and fend and determine what it is that you do with $15,000 per kid now. Like, and that was different before Barack Obama's presidency. So the very same industry that you work in became disrupted by his presidency. The fact that the media has changed, the fact that like you have the ability to sit in this space as an individual like human, like you don't need to.
That was him. I can sit in this space because of him.
I'm saying that there's influence in his ability to disrupt media and the way that we get information out to people.
That's
that needs
not
to be
him.
attributed, I think you full of shit.
I know. I don't. That's not
as a
him.
matter of fact, I'm gonna get one of our fifth graders to do a
Bottom
paper.
of the first.
Please
is on-
do.
It's gonna be
It's
so
on
easy to
O.
prove.
Bottom of the
Please do.
first.
It's gonna be so
Bottom
easy to
of
prove.
the
I'm
you
gonna
right
get
now,
one of
son.
the fifth
With
graders.
what?
round was fire.
With what?
Her first round was fire. It's on
With
you.
what? There's nothing. There's.
How
Listen.
can you say that
Say
that
what?
doesn't speak speak volumes for us as a people. Like the kids seeing him on television.
No. So you're talking about this. You got to separate the two, right? So here's the thing. I'm all for it. Like I said, I went with my father, my dad, 2008. We walked to across the street to vote for him.
Word.
Great. That was history.
How
First
dope is
time,
that?
but it was dope. It was amazing. But here's the thing. I realized about 3 years later, like, you know what? I did that to, one, be part of history, and also do that with my dad and share that moment. But at the end of the day, I can't say that my life was impacted solely because of his presence
Okay, now can
in
I
the White
ask you
House.
this
It
question?
has not. It has not.
Okay, now can I
It
ask
has
you a
not.
rebuttal question?
Okay, Omar.
What president?
None.
Okay then. So
Right,
then why
that's
why you
where
choosing
I feel
him
like-
out?
I feel like-
That's what
Right,
I
right.
said. None of them will.
No.
They're
you're
all
not-
figureless. They're all powerless figureheads, man.
Okay,
They're all puppets put in place.
I'm
But
not
what I'm
disputing
saying
that
is the
point.
ramifications that it speaks for us as black people. It speaks volumes, bro.
But then
like,
so go back to your point. You said that project, right? You said that project where homegirl was like, she was able to go back and like everybody, including Obama.
yo, dead ass. Everyone is.
So
is
you're
related
trying to
the
say
same
so
fucking
this is just
king, yo.
this is just a
I'm
question.
sorry.
Yeah.
So this is just a question.
I'm
Wait,
sorry.
let me get this question out. So you think that you think there's a reason behind?
I think that the same families have been running the world the entire time. Like that whole Illuminati
So
shit,
that kinda-
shit's keep it in the family bloodlines. That shit is very real.
So then that makes it doesn't seem like it was a fair win. It just seemed like they just gave us Obama because of that lineage. That doesn't make any sense.
I think it's bigger than what I'm talking about. What it means for us, like as a people, for our confidence, for our trying to deal with the PTSD of slavery and all the shit that we've overcome for the last hundreds of years. A little 8-year-old child looking at the television like, holy shit, I could be the president of the United States. That shit is way more valuable
But to
than
your
any political
point-
policy or doing this or that.
To your point, only if you have that lineage to that king that you mentioned earlier.
But I'm saying, but the odds are you ain't gonna be president. Ain't nobody gonna be president. Let's keep it real. It been 40 something. How many people? There's 8 billion people on the planet. It been 40 something presidents all time. So you ain't gonna be the president. I'm just talking about for your self-confidence, for you to be able to navigate through life and survive in America when a target is basically on your back. You
I
know
think
what I'm saying?
ultimately the
Like,
person that
got you,
actually
Craig.
put that in perspective, look what you did.
Break it your boy. Break it your
I
boy.
didn't do it on purpose.
So I think the person that put that in perspective is actually Donald Trump.
I think it's just cook back.
how?
What Donald Trump put in perspective for you?
No, listen, hear me out.
Please, let's not
Hear
talk
me out.
about
I'm
the
in
blonde
operation.
Hear
guy.
me
I
out.
think I can figure it
45.
out.
Hear me out
45.
because it's just a matter of the fact that
I just wanna say the blonde
homeboy, he
guy.
went from exactly the dude with the toupee.
Yeah, the
He
dude,
went
yeah.
from celebrity apprentice to own these places, owning these things, to actually becoming president. Barack Obama gave hope to people of our skin color. Donald Trump gave hope to fucking the girls from Housewives of Atlanta that they can run for president.
Facts.
Yeah, like people saying that stupid shit like, I would vote for Oprah. I hope Oprah runs. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a television host. I don't care if she's a black
So
woman.
was-
she has
so
no
was Donald
fucking...
Trump.
That's what
I'm
saying.
sorry,
And it's
but
the same
Ronald
bullshit.
Reagan was an actor.
That's
And-
bullshit too. Like, I'm not voting for anybody in
But
that
here's the
position. I
thing,
don't
though.
care if
He-
they're black.
He had
Like,
he had a bit
bullshit.
more of a political pedigree than Donald Trump. He was a part. He was I believe a governor, I think, before.
And what was
beforehand.
what was his education?
So that was the
before
whole
that?
point. What happened?
What,
My thing
like,
is
what
this.
gave him the?
It's a difference. It's a difference.
My
He
thing
did-
is this, right? I understand where Carnegie is coming from as far as like seeing that, because I ain't gonna lie, being younger, or my mother always say, "Oh, we ain't gonna never have no black president." So
Well,
seeing
shit.
that was a moment in my life, like, oh
Definitely, I
wow,
would never
it could
take away
probably
from that.
happen. But at the same time, going back on Omar's point, they don't connect with us. People like us, or people that's, you know what I'm saying?
Ah,
I mean, I'm just,
Like
I'm
they
not,
the
I'm not saying,
presidents?
I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm saying the general consensus. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not heavy on political stuff. Like me, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know.
and
a lot
so
about
that's the
politics.
problem. So I feel like
And
you
I
guys
have
should
to-
reframe and change your responses to I don't know in which ways
Right, and that's why
they have impacted me. Because hear me
Right.
out. So here's one of the reasons why I know, like, even our ability to sit around a podcast. Hear me out.
Fix your mic.
Media is deregulated now. And when I say it's deregulated, back in the day, you listen to the radio and the people on 105.1 or 97.1, and you hear, like, your opinions from them, or you listen to Oprah, or you listen to The Real, et cetera, right? I remember in Obama's first year of being a president, he called on the masses, people who disrupt, like who were different with, who did different shit with media. Concrete Loop was something that I used to always pay attention to. I used to always go on that blog. That was like my CNN every morning when I graduated college and thereafter. And I remember when he sat around the table with young black like media entrepreneurs who did shit from Concrete Loop, from Bossip, like all of these random people who you would never think that he had no like connection to, and these were people who were like doing things for the culture, as we say it, right? After that meeting happened, I don't know what happened, but these, like, yes, their careers took off, but also just like even this industry of like podcasts and the ability to podcast and the ability to blog and vlog and things of that nature, these things soar differently, right? I don't know how. I cannot draw the very direct like connection to how, but I can tell you that like he brought those folks to the table and he gave them a platform to speak about needs and like the things that they didn't need.
So it was
and
Obama.
That made an impact. I believe he had something to do with it. He had more than your ass.
With this.
I mean, I feel like there's something with his presidency that has an impact on our ability to sit in this room right now.
I would beg to differ. I just think this is something that was going to involve with or without Barack Obama. I think there were people who already had platforms within this realm that radio, podcast was inevitable. There were people who had blogs and things like that. The internet was here before Obama.
Let's talk about healthcare then. Let's talk about healthcare. Let's talk about you having the opportunity to have healthcare without a job.
Since
right?
I was 26.
Without a job?
No, I still had a job.
But my point is now, if you are like, if any person in this room is unemployed, like you have an opportunity to acquire health care. That is something different. That is something that this country has never had access to. And like even from like fuck black or white.
That's a point.
At the very
is that
least,
a point?
like
But wait. Hold on.
Stay
Wait.
alive.
I'm sorry. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Everybody call me Q.
Q. Okay. School me exactly on the Obamacare. I know partially, but I need to. I feel like you know the whole thing.
You can
Johnny,
pay into a low premium
sorry.
to have very basic coverage without one needing to go through an employer, without having to go through the loopholes of buying into specific benefit packages, which like, and with that, like your employer dictate the cost. The government, I feel as though, like if I can explain it well, are working with companies directly and charging us for like the very specific things that we're paying. We're not paying $200 for medication that otherwise can cost 5 cents in Cuba.
Should be free.
I figured,
Right.
I
And
figured
that is so
but I
that,
see
like,
people
you-
shitting on the Obamacare all the
I don't know,
time. I don't know why.
One step closer
Because
to
people are
universal
saying,
health
because
care.
So
because
before I said
people's
anything, I wanted to
taxes are
know.
impacted by
Yeah.
it. Because in
Right.
order to offset the cost of that, you pay more toward
People
taxes.
who don't have
Right.
jobs
So the
have
fuck
coverage.
what?
Right.
It's one
What the
step
fuck else
closer
are you
to
doing for
universal
society?
health care.
Yeah.
Like we should have. That countries like Sweden and Canada,
Canada
that have way
has.
less fucking money than us have. There's no reason why any American citizen
Why-
should not be able to go
The
into a
greatest
fucking hospital
country,
and get
the
seen.
great like.
That's a fact.
Quotation
I
marks,
agree with
greatest
that.
country
I
my
agree
ass.
with that.
They
man.
always say that, and shit is bullshit. My mother says that
It is
too,
bullshit.
and I get back and forth with her into that too. That shit is bullshit. It's a facade that they try to sell you. That like
I agree.
Obamacare
I
was
agree
a
with that.
great step in the direction of universal health care, which
Sure
should
was.
happen, bro. Like,
And I
chill.
thought the
And
same
people
thing.
like
I thought the same thing.
Omar
That's why
don't
I
wanna
asked
give him
her,
his
'cause I'm
credit.
like, yo, niggas be shitting on Obamacare all the time, but I'm like,
I
yo,
didn't crap on Obamacare.
We-
I didn't
you know
crap
what I'm
on it.
Ignorance.
I didn't.
You said
crap
you didn't
on
know
it.
what he did. Well, I'm letting
I
you
never-
know one thing.
Revolution
I didn't say I didn't know he did. I said I wasn't
overnight.
directly
He didn't know what he
impacted.
did for you.
But that's
Revolution
wasn't
don't
directly
happen
impacted.
overnight.
You weren't.
I wasn't
that's,
directly
that's a
impacted.
big thing,
I
though.
don't think any.
You have to
I don't
concede
think
to
any
that.
president is gonna impact you. Honestly,
No, and I
me
get-
looking at it thinking like you, because
Yeah.
I think like both of y'all. Honestly, I feel like it's a combination in my mindset because I mean. I really don't have an answer, but I do understand where you're coming from. I don't think it's gonna impact me. That impact me though. I'm not gonna lie.
But he said no president impacted his life like that. So to try to
But she
pick
just
on
made a point.
Obama
That-
and
that's
say
what
she
I'm
like,
did.
saying.
That did
You have to
impact you. That's what I'm
concede.
saying.
Yeah, it didn't
So that was
necessarily
an excellent
impact me.
point.
I had healthcare.
Thank you.
I get that.
I'll come in
Revolution.
more
You get
prepared
that?
next
You get that
time.
point? That's
First
one
He
point.
gets
That's
that
fine.
point. Obama gets that
Exactly.
point.
change
Well, she
is
made the
not gonna
point, so I
happen.
get
I'm
what you're
just saying,
saying,
like,
bro.
no, but come on.
Yeah,
She
point
gets the
Obama.
point, of course, but the whole thing is when black people in particular
Wanna
say
shit
that
on-
Obama didn't do shit for black people,
no.
that's something that actually
So here's the
can
thing.
help black
Right, that I
people.
don't agree with.
So here's the thing.
I don't
I'm
agree
not
with
going to I'm not going to just alienate Obama and say, oh, he didn't. No, I will. Well, I will go on record and say this though. I wish. I'm going to say I wish he could have done more for us. I wish he was able to do more for us. And I
black
will.
people?
What happened?
But you
Black
do
people.
understand
Definitely.
that
I do
he's-
understand. I do
You
understand.
do
that.
understand that's a
I
tough
do
spot
understand that. It is
for him.
But at the end of the day, I just think if it's so easy for Donald Trump to do the things that he's doing now, why couldn't it have been easy for him to do?
What did
Well,
he really?
He
He don't
didn't
really
set
do
that
shit.
example
Hear me
before.
out. Hear me out. Think of that immigration law that he put out, where he actually had children being separated from their family.
Don't act like you don't recognize.
Hear me out, please. Hear me out, please.
That started
Hear me out, please.
Obama's
Hear me out, please. Just hear me out. So the fact that he was able to do that, to do it.
That's because he had the House in
That
Congress.
started
in
Obama's
Obama was fighting with
at
the
one
other
point in
branches
time,
of government
at
when
one-
he was trying to implement shit. Trump
At
wasn't.
one
It's a
point in
difference.
time, though, Reef. Okay, that snap. But at
Like,
one point,
it's easy to put everything in play when every step of the way is your
just hear
people.
me
So you
out.
could be like, yo,
But just hear
hold
me
down.
out. But at one
Make your point, Omar.
about to keep getting cut off.
My bad.
At one point in time, he did have the House. He did have the House. He did have the majority.
But
He did have the majority.
when he had the House, they didn't have.
But that's my
fucking-
rebuttal to what you just said.
He
did
had
have
the
the
House,
majority.
and then you had people
Trump had
who
all
changed
three.
from, and then you had people who was seeking to develop their own
But
personal
don't
interests, and
say-
they changed from Democrat to Republican. So don't act like there wasn't red tape around his presidency.
I'm not acting like it, but all I'm
Come
saying
on,
is
bro.
at
But
one
like
point.
for the fact that you can sit down there and make the statement, like Trump can make laws that have kids locked up. Yes, as a white man, he can do that shit easily, and
It's
nobody's
way
gonna scrutinize
easier
him.
for him,
This
bro.
Obama as president was sitting down here trying to do shit that benefited the entire society, and he was still getting red tape because
But sometimes you just
still
gotta
had-
say fuck it. That's what I want him to do. Just say fuck it.
But that's
Fuck
the
it.
thing, Omar. He can't
Fuck
do
it.
that.
Nah.
He can't do that as a black man because
he
what they gonna
shouldn't.
say? He's acting like a nigga.
Yeah,
It's the
that
first thing
ass
he gonna
was
say,
hard,
bro. That's why I said
Sometimes
he's
you
in a
just
tough
gotta
spot
do
when he
that.
got that. Even though it was a great thing, back to Carnegie's point, it was a great thing to see it. But now to deal with that shit, you see all those memes. Oh, when you first get the presidency, and then nigga had a whole bunch of gray hair 2 years later.
Bro.
That shit is real, son. It's real.
You understand fully what I'm saying. I'm not condoning what Trump did, but all I'm saying is he had the gumption to do such a thing, whether or not the House was with him or not. You're right, he's white, but at the same time,
That's the point.
that's my whole point. Like, just do it. Just fuck
Bro,
it.
even-
At the end of the day, you can say what you want about Trump. I'm not 445, but the motherfucker got balls. I just wish Barack Obama was able to say, fuck what y'all think.
It
I'm going to
wasn't
put.
as easy
Doesn't matter.
for
The
him.
effort.
You
Even
I would
down
say
to
the
this.
effort.
Hold on.
I would say
Omar,
the effort.
Even down to this. Even down to him having to fucking bring up his social. His birth certificate
That was
to
stupid.
Trump before he was even a president.
That was
like he
stupid.
could have easily been like, yo, don't say nothing to me. I'm the president. Don't be asking me about my birth certificate. But he still had to present it. Why? Because if he'd have did that, what I just said, like get the fuck out of my face, they'd have been like,
What, you know-
you hiding something.
There's ways
Or
you
yo,
can-
why you responding like that? You're the president. You're
There's
the,
no,
you know what I'm
there's
saying?
ways.
That's like
No,
stupid
there's
anyway,
ways. That was
because
dumb. I don't really.
How can
Right,
you even
and
get
that's
to that
my thing.
level
Yeah.
without presenting him being a fucking citizen?
Yeah.
you know?
That
Exactly
makes
my
no sense.
point. That's why I'm like, yo, don't
And then they
fucking show
made
it.
him- and then
Just
they made
don't
him do it.
Prove a point. But I understand he had to do it. But I felt like you. I felt like he didn't have to. I'll give you that. But at the same time, he
wouldn't have
did. Because like I said, if he wouldn't have, then it'd have been like, do we got something to hide? It's not, then
Nah,
the
I
dude with the
never
blonde hair
thought
would have been
that.
like,
I never
oh,
thought that.
we understand that. But the dude with the blonde hair knows that he got that. He know he could present that and be like, yo, I could ruffle some feathers with this
Because
right here.
it's still a racist
what I'm
country and
saying?
it's still gonna be difficult for a black man to make decisions. Like
Exactly.
Trump made that bullshit
That's
when he had
what I'm
all
saying.
three
I'm not
branches of
saying
government
I'm
in
not
the pocket.
saying your point is wrong, bro.
I
You got
I
an
stand
excellent.
by it.
I feel like
stand by
you.
it.
I feel like you have a point, but at the same time, it's gonna be hard regardless.
I
Especially
feel
for
like
a black
just
man.
imagine you say, "Oh, the inspiration." Just imagine the inspiration that would have brought upon brown and black people if he would have just said, "Fuck it, this is what we gonna do."
Bro,
And
you
then we
can't do that.
And then they wouldn't have given
How
us
did
another
they
black man
try?
president.
No, you tried.
Look, right, I
But
feel like
back to
the
this
shit
point.
that you're saying is mad. Like,
Back to
like
this
I
point,
think it's not methodical.
Checks
I feel
and
like
balances,
if you
bro.
were running a
Nah.
country, okay, so maybe it would have been different if Trump was president before Barack Obama, and maybe someone would have felt inspired enough to be like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just do what I want to do."
Y'all not
As the
hearing
first
me.
black president, you have more of a responsibility. I hear you. I just don't agree.
And that's
He
fine.
Oh,
didn't have
I hear
the
you.
House
Oh,
and the
listen,
Senate on his
Oh,
side to be
so
able to
So-called
pass
had
whatever
a
he
Speaking
fucking
be
wanted.
heard,
bill
Craig.
that was gonna run. Remember
Speaking be
when
heard.
Al Sharpton said, "I'm gonna run." What they did? Psst, you think you run? Man, get the hell out of here. We ain't letting you run. We already know what you're gonna do when we step in. We don't want him to run anyway, but at least he had that mindset. Like, you know
Jesse
what? When I
Jackson,
get in,
too.
I'm gonna look out for blacks. Once they saw that he was gonna do that, you're out of here, brother. No way we're letting you in.
What,
So even when we do have people that want to feel like you, they not even gonna allow that to happen anyway.
Exactly. They'd have been like, "Oh shit, there's something wrong with black people." Handmaid's Tale him.
he would have been dead, man.
They would have killed
assassinated
son.
Obama if he
First of all,
came
they
in on
wouldn't let
some
him run
black power,
anyway.
black fish
Like
shit.
they did. They
would
didn't
kill
let him run,
man.
bro.
For real.
He put it out
And
there.
he'd have been just
would've
like
killed his ass.
Donye Jones.
For real, they would have
Let's
killed
talk
his
about
ass. He
Donye
came that
Jones.
shit, man.
We agree to disagree.
All I'm saying is, a revolution ain't gonna happen overnight. But look at the increase.
Revolution
And you
ain't
know what?
happening at
Somebody
all.
that you
Go
respect,
ahead,
Malcolm
go ahead.
X. Even Malcolm X changed his perspective, right? Malcolm X was very radical and wanted to be
Yeah.
radical in his approach. But after a while, he recognized that like taking a radical approach is not going to be the way to make it, right? And then unfortunately, he died before he had the opportunity to show us like what his next step was going to be. And so that's one point. And the second point is don't underestimate, because Barack Obama, he's not president anymore. Allow the man to still make an impact. And when he does, then shut the fuck up. Because the reality is, like,
keep talking
this
my
man's
shit.
legacy, like this man's legacy can't just be formed by the fact that he was president of the United States. Watch what he does afterward. And stop underestimating what he does. But for me, until you do more, which one of y'all said it? I think it was you who said it, that people are always going to talk shit if, wait, how it go? No, Rain, it was you. People are always going to have some shit to say if they're not doing more than you or some shit like that.
Right.
I got a question for you, O. I got
I'm not
wait.
doing- hold up. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm confused.
I'm saying that your
Maybe it's
impact
too-
is not as much as Barack Obama yet.
Of course,
Yet.
I can.
And I'm saying until you get to the point and understand what barriers are limiting or restricting his impact.
That's the conversation
You
we can
can't
have.
talk shit.
That's the conversation we can have offline, because we can. No. Because you know what? Because here's the thing. It's just a matter of you. If you hear a no, fuck it. But the effort is there. Like I always say, intentions. Your effort and intentions there, and your heart is in the right place. I don't care what if they was to turn him down, deny, whatever. But it's just like, you know what? He fought for us to get to that point. But you know what? They turned him down because of the checks and balances, or because of his pigmentation.
He did that
but
mad times.
we don't know that, but all I'm saying
Hold
is, like, if it's just a matter of, like, if it was out there for him to do, like, he did not.
That
Oh,
Paul
I wanna
Masson
know-
is making
I
him
mean, he didn't
belligerent
do
over
what?
these.
No, I'm not belligerent.
Your main thing that I've gotten.
This is the different
One
side
of
of
the main
McCray.
things that you brought up was you weren't impacted directly. How would you ever feel a president would impact you
They
directly?
won't.
I want to know
They
that.
make decisions on
so
such
for
a
example,
high level. It's never
for
gonna
example,
impact you
everybody's
directly.
like, oh man, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. No, the motherfucker he didn't. It was just it was a financial business decision, because industrial revolution was impacting the society, and that was the way they were going. It had nothing to do with slaves. It was just being wrong altogether, because it was wrong. It's just a matter of, like, I'm more or less like with Barack Obama, everybody saying all these things. I'm not anti-Obama. I'm just saying I was just never, and let me just change it up then, because maybe you misunderstood me. I was never impacted by any president. I wasn't.
Right, so then
I
don't just
wasn't.
point out
So
him and
I'm
say,
not.
like, he ain't impact me. None of them did.
But I'm
That's
just
because
speaking.
I feel
The
like
way
I'm just
that
speaking
you're
on.
taxed
I'm
every
speaking.
day,
She said was
I feel like that's a
impactful
moot point, because
to
the way
us.
that you're taxed every day is defined by your
That
president
ass,
and your state
that
government.
ass.
So I feel like to even make a statement like that,
I'm just
again,
saying it's
is
like,
not
okay, maybe
thoughtful.
I should give it further context and, like, positively impacted.
How
I
many
guess.
people of color have you seen elected to office since Barack
They
Obama?
stopped, stop,
Like
and
in
frisk.
Minnesota,
Did that not impact you?
Excuse me? Stop and frisk?
That ass. Shit
Yeah.
like that, man.
They stopped, stop, and frisk in New York
Under
City. Did
Obama's
that not impact you?
administration. Come on, bro.
Oh yeah, they stop and frisk, but they can check your fucking bag.
But
I didn't
but
like
I'm
it
saying,
today.
but
I'm
back
like,
back then
No,
they
what
can
do you
check
mean?
your
I remember
bag
the
and
law
stop and
no,
frisk
not
you
any
now.
bag. Wait,
They
not
stop my
any
bag. They check my
It
bag
has
on
to be-
14th
That
Street.
has to be a
fucked
big
up.
bag.
That's still fucked
They
It
up.
has to be a
check-
big bag.
They
Bro,
checked my
today-
Batman book bag I got
today-
under here when I came.
Batman.
Today, seeing that,
Today?
hopping on the 6 train.
Not today, it was the day before.
Well, for me, I didn't get stopped. I'm just saying, I was shocked to see that many cops in the Hunts Point train station with the table set. It was three or four cops.
Yeah, got the
table
table.
set up. I was just kind of thrown off. Like, really, they still on this?
There was summers I got stopped and frisked every single
In Brooklyn?
day. Yes. The summer of 06, the summer of 07, we got stopped and frisked. There was times I got stopped and frisked 3 times in one day.
That's
By the same
crazy.
motherfucker, like, yo, bro, you saw me earlier. And that shit is a drastic difference. I haven't been stopped and frisked since 2010 when that shit stopped. I haven't been seen since. And yeah, I saw the table where they checked the bag, but whatever. Like, a revolution is not going to happen overnight. It takes time. It's not going to happen in a day, a month, a year.
You mentioned that earlier about a revolution. We are not fit. I think it was either David Banner or Killer Mike. No, we are not fit or programmed to go through a revolution in this time and day because we are comfortable. We're comfortable. There's no one here. We can say T.I.,
hell
fucking
no.
anybody. We're
You
not.
gotta
We're not
speak for
there.
yourself.
We're not. We're not. We're
hell
not.
no.
We're
Trust
not there
me.
as a people.
We're not there as a
What type of
people. We're
revolution?
not.
Not as a
Ain't.
people.
What
What do you
revolution you
mean?
talking about?
Not as a people. We're not there.
I mean, it is
I
too
mean,
many.
a
It's too much
revolution-
hate between us. I ain't gonna
Right.
front, and it's too much. the people's mindset. Like I have talks in the barbershop all the time about
shout out to
this
the
what
barbershops.
happens. Yeah, shout out to the barbershop. Shout out to my barber Eddie. But
if
we talk about it all the time. Like if something go down, where would you stand? Where would you fall in on? Like I'm saying, like how would you respond if this happened?
I'm riding.
You know what I'm
either
saying?
way, but
I tell you one thing.
And then most people say, "Would you though? Would you?" Because now it's like if you riding, that means you got to go out and behead a dude,
people just
or
know
behead
that
another.
Well,
If
if
somebody
that's what
gonna
it has
behead
to be.
me,
willing
yeah.
to
You know what I'm
risk
saying?
your life,
If
yo,
that's what it
period.
has to be.
Revolution causes
We are
for
not
you to
ready
risk
for
your
that.
life.
Hell yeah.
You know?
And we are not ready for
And
that.
I feel
We're
like
not
that.
ready as a
I feel like
people.
some people
Speak
are,
for
and I feel like
yourself.
some
When
people
you say
ain't.
you're not
Most
ready,
people
what do
are
you
not.
mean? When
Right.
you say we're comfortable and
No,
we're not
as
ready,
a
what does that
people,
mean?
we're not ready as a people. They're still we're still beefing over dumb shit like complexion. We're still cracking jokes about complexion.
But
We're
that
still
shit been around.
No, but that's a part of it. If you can't get past that, for real, that's just stupid to
Nah,
say
it's
that
mad dumb. I
somebody
hate that
to
shit.
say that somebody acts a certain way because they're light skinned.
But I
If
feel
you-
like
but
some
hold
people
up.
are gonna argue. Some people are gonna be there as like, oh, you're lighter than I am, and some people are gonna be like, some people are gonna have the light versus dark conversation, and some people are gonna be like, but we all black, so let's figure this shit out.
No, some people, not most people. We're still there. We're still there with differentiate between Americans and West Indians or any black person that's not out. That's a part of the diaspora. We're still having beefs about that.
But you
when we're
think
all
this is
fucking black,
something
you know
that
why?
just came up, or
No,
that
I'm saying
existed in the 60s
that's
when we
inherent-
did it?
That's an inherent problem.
But I don't think anyone
But-
would disagree that
but I
getting
think
shot as a black man is just wrong, right? And I think that's where we find ourselves. Like,
no,
there's a
I'm
need
saying
to just.
that we're not there. My defense is that we're not there as a people. If you can't, it's about how we think. If you can't get past these stupid little things, how the fuck are you willing to die for someone who you're playing because they're lighter than you? Who you're playing because they're from Africa and you're born here? We're not ready as a people.
But were those things
I
not
agree.
present in the 60s when we had the civil rights
Right.
revolution?
They were
and all
not.
that?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
I think
something.
they were.
I mean, I
Let me-
wasn't alive, but
You
hell
weren't, but
yeah.
here, let me tell you
Yeah.
something. Let me tell you something. We had Malcolm X. We had Stokely Carmichael. We had the Black Panther movie. We had Martin Luther King. We had freaking Medgar Evers. We had so many other activists that I can't even think off the top of my head to
Find me the
name.
stories.
The thing is this, man. We don't have no solidified spokesperson who can be that face of the revolution.
I don't
quote
think
unquote.
nobody
people
was a-
spoke for
Everything is this.
Pan-Africanism,
Malcolm-
which is everybody agreeing. But honestly, even in this day and age, we have people that, and I get it, but it's annoying. Like all black people do not even agree with being with the term black.
Right,
With
that's
the
true.
term black.
It's very true.
So I'm just saying, like, we disagree on so many levels that I deem as minimal that you cannot say that we're ready as a people to fight a race war if our mentality is not.
I feel
linked.
like this idea of
As a
being
people,
ready.
We're
No.
definitely not ready.
We
to
not
do
having
that.
a
This
race
idea
war,
of
man.
being
Like,
ready-
Not having that.
So
That's-
wait,
The
so
idea
how
of
do
being
so
ready,
wait,
I
wait,
think,
hold
is
on.
practical.
So if we're not having a race war, how's the
No,
revolution
no,
gonna
I
be?
feel like this
y'all
idea
bugging.
of being
No,
this
no,
idea
no.
of being
One at a time.
ready
Go ahead,
is
Q, go ahead, Q.
impractical. I feel like the idea of being ready is impractical because I feel like regardless. Amidst like any like groups and layers of groups of people, there's always going to be a conversation about difference. We're always going to see differences. You always can like dehumanize the next layer of a person.
Right.
So that shit is always going to exist. I feel like once we don't find like if you don't find balance or rooting in fighting for what's impacting the masses of people who are not being treated fairly, then that's how you don't come to a consensus. But I feel like we have the ability. We just have to continue to peel back layers. People are just unreasonable
We're not
about
going to
that.
see it in this lifetime. I don't
think so
And
either.
I think
agree with
this
Rain
and I
on
think
that.
this
I don't think
idea
we'll see
but
it
I
in
think
this
the
lifetime.
idea of seeing it in this lifetime is subjective because I feel like if you want to see that shit, you can do that shit for yourself. I wholeheartedly believe
You have
one of
to
the
really
things that
be
used
the
to be
change,
hard
though.
for me is
Say-
not being able to change the world, right?
Wait.
That's-
Say that again. I hear what you're saying, Q. Say that again. You said you have to be.
You have to really be the change.
And that's where we are. Everybody's doing shit just because it's a trend. Nobody's talking. We're not talking about. We not. Is that not true?
You said to happen.
Is that not true?
Hold on. I want to hear what you want to say.
Race war, I am not saying that. When
No,
I say revolution,
I know you're not saying that.
Race war to me means black people go outside to kill white people and white people are doing the same. I'm not saying that. When I say revolution, I mean social and political equality amongst all people.
I know
I
you're not.
I don't mean go outside and kill fucking white people.
I knew that.
Now look.
I knew
You
that.
know what's crazy? What's crazy is if you'd have said that in my barbershop, they'd have joked and been like, yo, Johnny, your man got to go. They would have joked around and said that.
Bro.
Even though it's not.
Why? Tell him why.
Right. Because that mindset is not the mindset that they on. They on some shit like, yo, listen, if they coming to get us, we got to take them. Fuck that. That's the scary part about it.
But
that's
you know what?
saying.
What's interesting, I feel like you're having...
But I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. But I'm saying where people's minds is at is like, yo, if we gonna take shit over, we gotta take it over.
But I feel like
Dig what I'm
even...
saying?
But I feel like
going out and doing and just killing random people. It's about real, one particular thing. Cops are shooting unarmed black people. They're killing unarmed black people. And I'm not even afraid to say this because I've chosen my own destiny. So if the whole thing is there has not yet been a family that has retaliated at all. There has not been one family to retaliate. If you're not talking about death, you're not even about this life, actually.
Exactly.
Honestly, if you're not willing to, I'm just being honest.
Not my point.
Just on real talk.
No,
I'm just saying, but that's just the whole thing. If you're not talking, if you're not willing to risk, that's anything in life.
We have had people who do that, and we have a lot of them living in exile, like in countries abroad.
To her point,
it ain't
those
bad.
people during that time, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they knew what was
And
at
they all
risk.
died.
And they knew what was at
And
risk.
they died.
And they did.
No,
so
you
here's
still
the
have
thing.
some people who are in the fight who are just in the
No,
exile.
but I'm
Let's
saying
not
they
forget about
died
them.
for
They
what
died.
I'm saying. They
Got
died
it,
for
got it,
it.
got it,
You
got it.
had
No
race
one-
war.
no one-
Malcolm
Obama's
X
half
had
white.
to know.
Got it.
Malcolm X, honestly, when you think about Malcolm, he had to know that was a risk. Even when you find out one little bit of info about him, about the fact that even in him as a child, his house was burnt down by KKK.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it. So you already know once you went through all you went through to come to that point, even if it's by his own hand, even if it's by someone who looks like you, that death was a choice. It was an option because I'm willing to die for what I believe in. Race war is just a term, but essentially
That's a terrible term.
it's not.
It is, but you know what's crazy? It's
Wait.
inevitable,
No,
Let's finish the point. Let's
hold
finish the
up.
point.
My bad.
But it's that real. I just read today. It's that real. It's that real. You know why? And I have to do the due diligence, but I just read today a black woman, young black woman, was stabbed randomly by a white male.
Oh, in the park.
In New York City on some race shit. That's race war. You getting killed because of how you look. Period. That's death. She didn't realize that she was stabbed until the day after. But he attacked her. He punched her mad times in the face because she was black. I have to do the research, but I'm saying if you can't gather the term race war, that essentially is a race war. People are out here being attacked because of their skin color.
Murder of unarmed black men.
Now, mind
by
you,
police
if a race
officers
war.
is a race war.
Right.
in
And
itself.
if black people go see him and take him out, yo, you got to live with that.
But wait, one second.
But you're
even
taking him out on the grounds of him killing someone,
Yes.
not on the grounds of his race. When you say race war to me, that means I go outside, I see someone who is of the other race, you have to die now. Hell no.
So
I'm
why
not
you think he
co-signing
killed?
to
So
that.
why you think
Am
he
I
killed
willing
her?
to die for it? No, because he does that. Don't make it right that we're supposed to do the same shit.
I
Bro,
get that, but that's
am
part
I
of the
willing to
revolution,
die?
though.
Am I willing to die
That's
for the
part of
cause?
it,
It's not
though.
about that life.
That's part of it.
I'm
That's
not
a
about
part of
killing.
it.
I'm not about killing somebody just off no reason, just
No,
off the color
we're
of
not
your
saying
skin.
that.
No,
We're
I'm not
doing
about
that.
No,
that.
we're not saying that.
Yo, we're not saying that.
Wait,
We're
yeah,
not
Q.
saying that.
You made
Thank
a
you.
point. You made a point because you were saying something to the effect that like people are doing things because of trends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and you were having this conversation about like
Yes.
less race war, but people going out. Can you speak a little bit more to that point? Because I have a feeling like that I know where you're gonna go, but I don't want to.
So, for example, it was actually segue to not a debate or argument or just a matter of opinions when RAINE put up a post as far as like entertainers taking the due diligence and educating themselves on the candidates they want us to vote for because they're spewing like, oh, vote, vote, vote. But here's the thing, though. I keep forgetting this fucking Nas line. He says it on his album. Like everybody they want to be a part of it, and they want to do everything. They want to be part of everything. Fame is a hell of a drug. I'm not doing it service, but it's along those lines. Like just because, for example, I Can't Breathe, we wear the T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? The Trayvon Martin, we wear the hoodies. You know what I'm saying? Not for nothing. When that happened, when the verdict was out, I was on 14th Street, and shout out to Kevin Powell. He was out there leading that whole not march, but it was like a mass. It was a bunch of people. It was a dope movement, and I was out there, and I was hurt by that, and I didn't want it to stop from there, but it stopped. Like a week later, it was just that was it. We didn't hear anything else about the verdict or Trayvon Martin after that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it can't just stop after a week.
But that's
after
why
3 days.
I'm saying that
So it's just a matter. That's why we trend these movements, and we can't trend a movement.
I don't think people are intentionally trending the movements, right? I think
these entertainers are.
Yeah. So entertainers, yes, right. But I think it is important to pay attention to who we are as individuals and our place within those movements before we judge other people and think about like how life plays into that, right? Because like I support the Black Lives Matter movement. I remember like leaving college and feeling like mad ambitious about just like
got some notes
cutting shit like like cutting shit at its legs, right? And I feel like life gets in front of that. I feel like life gets in front of that for me, and life gets in front of that for other people too. And that's why, like, you're not as vigilant because sometimes if it feels like you're fighting and you're putting all this energy yourself, and you're not seeing the change at the rate in which you want to see it, and and for that reason, it's easy for any human being to like regress. It's not that they don't care, but like that's when they like. But you get tired after a while. Now, like, off of the strength of it being a trend, oftentimes, like, I feel like that in itself also plays into why it becomes a trend because people recognize that, like, when you have people who are energized by the same thing, then, like, you're going to feel more support behind the shit that you're arguing, and then you're going to feel like it's going to move further. So sometimes, like, when we're not as organized as a people, and I hate that idea of being organized as a people because, like, all of us believe, like, the same shit is important. It's just, like, you rank that shit on a day-to-day basis. Like, day-to-day it changes. Right? Like being black is always important to me, but like my bills might be important today over tomorrow because like shit, now that Navy is calling. Yeah, right? So like it's not that it's not important. Amen. Fuck Navian. And if you hear this, fuck both of y'all. And it'll be nice. Sally Mae. And if you don't, and if you eradicate our shit, then we might be inclined to
Sally Mae, you ugly
say some
bitch.
Nice shit. Yep. Don't nobody hate you.
Bitch.
Some of my bitch. But I feel what you're saying.
Say that to say that like it's almost. I feel like in society we make it easy for folks to do it based off of trend because we fall off too. And I feel like you can't forget the role that we as individuals play because like. When Trayvon was first hurt, you're damn right I might have been going out in the street saying Black Lives Matter. When Trump was first elected, you're damn right I was like the first one like ready to hug a kid and let the kid know that like it's okay and want to go out and rally and shit like that. But then after a while, like you remember that your life takes precedent. So I feel like it's irresponsible to not recognize that because like life is already hard for people of color. So like.
And I agree with you, and I just think like, and it pushes the conversation further. Like I will always and forever put that in the atmospheres for our kids that we lead every day. Like our lives matter. Black lives matter.
Absolutely.
Your life matters. You understand? I'm not gonna say the name, but when I myself and shout out to Ms. Anderson, we did that poem 2 years ago.
Shout out to Ms. Anderson.
Shout out to Ms. Anderson. We did that poem 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember. We were told not to do that poem. Pretty much spewing like Black Lives Matter. And
is this a work thing?
Yep.
Oh, you ain't gonna get me.
Oh, I'm gonna talk my shit tonight, honey. So it's just a matter of
bro. You can do that.
It's just a matter of like we need to continue that, and that's my job. Like I don't hold nothing from my kids that I teach and that I coach and whomever that I interact with as far as my kids.
Did the person who tell you not to do it are they still there?
Yes.
Damn.
So it's just a matter. It's just a matter of having that responsibility and doing the due diligence of educating not only ourselves but our future, that their lives matter and that what they do and how they think matters, because in essence that's how we build. You know what I'm saying? That's how we build.
I agree.
That's how we build.
My problem, I can't get jiggy with race war, man.
Did
I'm
you
not
just
saying
say
that.
jiggy?
I can't get jiggy with it, man. That's a
Get jiggy
crazy
with it.
term.
Nah,
You know what's
nah,
crazy?
I don't
nah,
think
nah,
you know what
the
nah.
you know what the crazy
implications
part
of
is,
that
Carnegie?
is.
You know what the crazy part is? The people that are with it, the opposite race, I hate to say it, the opposite race that is with it,
I don't think
they're gonna take
nobody's
you out.
with- Yo,
and you gonna be like, yo,
No,
these niggas really
if-
took
If
me
it's
out.
a race
it
war,
did,
people
we would
gonna participate.
lose.
Yeah.
We would lose drastically. We're like 10% of the population. 10 cannot beat 90.
Nah, hold
And
up,
that's my
hold
thing,
up.
Carnegie,
If it's
that's
a
the
race,
thing.
if it's a race
That's
war,
why
I'm
people are
declaring
always
that
gonna-
it's white versus non-white, and if it's white versus non-white, we ain't the minority. So we all gonna go in, and I'm
But
going.
that don't
I mean,
mean-
but then
y'all
you
gonna
got
even see
shit
me on the
like
streets pointing
Zimmerman.
over Italians.
Yeah,
that
but
don't
You
mean
ain't
you
white,
don't
man. You
fight, though.
Italian.
Yeah, but
That's my thing.
they feel like that.
That's my thing.
They don't
Carnegie.
feel
Even
like
though
that.
that's
We
real.
would be like, yo, you should fuck with us. But niggas like Zimmerman, who is Spanish, he don't feel like that. He sees Trayvon and sees him as a threat. Like, I'm not, yo,
He's right.
I don't condone, like, and if the cops that's killing people, I feel like somebody should go kill you because you killed somebody in cold
I
blood.
ain't even
But
gonna-
you,
and I
specifically
agree.
the cop that did it, not some white person out there.
No.
willing
Carnegie,
to
that's
die
the
now
point
as
we
a
trying to get you to
That's not what
understand.
I'm
Hold on,
saying,
Rain.
though. Not
That's the
saying
point we
That's
trying to
what
get you to
racial
understand.
means, though.
Even though, look,
Get it,
even though we
get it.
outnumbered,
Means to
the
you.
fact that
Get it,
you
John,
willing
get
to
it, John.
fight, that's what the revolution is about.
Absolutely.
We already know we outnumbered, but you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna take who I'm gonna take.
If
I'ma
I
die
can
anyway.
share,
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I think we have different perspectives on
nobody
revolution.
said
because
go
I don't-
outside and kill random.
No, we're
That's
not
what a
saying
race
that.
war
No, that's what
is,
you
though.
think it is.
I
No.
don't
I'm
know.
saying
we gotta look
we're
up
using we're using particular events that actually happened, right? What actually happened is that there are several cases where black men were shot by cops, unarmed black men, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, there has never been retaliation. There has never been, like how you just said, no one family has ever retaliated against a wrongful death by a cop to a black person where the cop was, his family was, whatever, or they tried to kill the cop.
But for
there
the-
has never been
But for the
retaliation.
record, though, there has been, in essence, retaliation towards cops
The
being
dude in
murdered.
Dallas that
Yes,
Dallas
it has.
and the one in New York, I believe, if I'm correct.
It has.
Yeah,
It
it was
has.
close
In
by
Brooklyn.
me. It was
In
close by
Brooklyn.
me. Yeah.
Right, so there
I don't
has.
know. The only one
But I
that
feel what you
that's valid to me is the one in Brooklyn
On
where
Murder
we
Avenue.
know. Yeah, but we don't
Yes.
even know that whole
That's
story.
whack,
If you
though.
follow the story, the whole
Wait.
story.
They deserve to die sitting in their car
Hold
because of some
up,
shit somebody
right.
else did. That's the same shit they do to us.
Yeah.
I seen one black person
He
sell drugs, so
didn't.
now everybody
That's
has
what
to
I'm
sell
saying.
drugs.
Carnegie,
Hold
Everybody got a
up.
family,
My
man.
bad.
Hold up.
Good.
My
Right.
bad.
He deserved to be
He did
killed.
not, but I'm saying that's not even a really valid thing. We don't know. I feel like some of that was constructed. I don't know the details of that because you have to follow stories. That's the other thing. Doing the due diligence as citizens
Yeah.
is following up on stories. A lot of people don't do that, and so that case in Brooklyn, that's the closest thing to it. And it wasn't really retaliation
Yeah.
because like you said, it's stupid. It's like it's random. I'm saying there has not been one family to retaliate. Sandra Bland's family took a bum ass cop out deal
But you
that
want to
wasn't
send
worthy.
somebody else from your family to jail after you lost somebody that was already
I
killed.
feel like-
You wanna
Part of it,
retaliate
son,
and
you
then go
not
back.
Carney,
getting
that's what I'm
it.
saying.
But what I'm saying
Carnegie,
is they
that's-
families, but you can't be mad at their families for
No,
not wanting
I'm
to
saying
lose
fuck
two
all
people
that.
for
Their
No,
one.
we
family.
not-
I'm
not
saying
mad
my
at it. No, I'm
own
not.
family. I'm saying my own family. Even if it's not whatever. I'm
depends
saying
on
that
what
if
you
someone
see
attacks
retaliation
my
at.
family that way, I'm saying that my sentiment
Oh, yeah,
is that my family should be. If I get killed by
we
a cop
riding.
wrongfully, I'm saying
God
that
forbid.
I want my family to fucking retaliate.
Hell yeah,
there
we
has
riding.
not
But it
been.
depends on what retaliation is.
No,
right?
retaliation.
God forbid, God forbid,
retaliation.
God forbid,
Kill
God
out
forbid,
there.
God forbid, God
Okay,
forbid.
do y'all watch
Kill
Queen
out
Sugar?
there.
Y'all watch
Q.
Queen Sugar?
What is
No.
that?
Queen,
Is-
it's a show on OWN.
Is that like
directed
a-
by Ava DuVernay?
Fancy condiment?
No, it's a show on
But
OWN,
that's based on the
Oprah's
principles
television.
of war, though. The
And
principles
one
of
of the
war.
girls-
Hold up, but that was explained to me, and that's true. The principles of war.
Yeah.
In war, it's dog eat dog. It's
You
a-
shoot your
an
dog,
eye
I'm
for
gonna
an
kill your
eye.
cat.
I'm
Yes.
saying that black people, this is why we're not even respected, because
Right.
black people have not come together to retaliate
I don't think that's necessarily the case, right?
That's a fact.
I feel like retaliation looks different for different people, and I feel like as Black people we're learning how to retaliate the way that white people can adhere to. I feel like oftentimes like the way that I want to retaliate when I'm on the road and somebody do some dumb shit is not the way that it's gonna make a long lasting impact.
Yeah, I don't think that's
the reason why I use. Come on, man. The reason why I use I reference Queen Sugar is because one of the characters, like her dad, she finds out that her dad's land was like that the family that's trying to buy her dad's land is a family of slave owners, right?
Yeah.
In retaliation, her dad died, and she attributes her dad's death to the stress that he has on these people trying to buy out his land, which is something that he's trying to leave as a legacy for his children. The way that she is planning to retaliate is she's buying, like she sold her land to these people to get their interest, but it's because she wants to get interest in their show in their business, in their mill business, to take them all down. So she's infiltrated the business by becoming like majority shareholder, and now she's going one by one to take them down. She's using like business to like remove their business, which is like the hub of their family, from under their foot. That's her retaliating and taking from them their fucking livelihood that is based off of the premise of racist antics and using it against them. She hasn't succeeded yet, but that's her way of retaliating, which is different from. Now here's my thing, right? Yep. I've had the opportunity in life to be blessed with the opportunity to stay with people who are with a Black Panther in exile, Mama Charlotte and Pete O'Neill, who currently live in Tanzania. Pete O'Neill, MJ Pete, he's a Black Panther in exile, and he's been there for way over 40 years, I want to say. He fought for the cause, and he lost his livelihood, right? He lost his livelihood. He had to redefine his livelihood, but build a new life in a country that it is not necessarily one that he was born into, right? What type of risk are you willing to take for the revolution, I think, is another thing. And I know death is one thing, but death is one thing that I
respect strategy, but even that is not enough at this point. I'm saying that it's in addition to. I'm just making a statement to say that the fact is, in all of these cases that have been going on for however many years, right? Some bigger than others, it's been documented that Black people have been killed wrongfully, unarmed, for no reason.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying that it's not even on us as a people, it's on the family. I'm saying that now it's not even about a race war. It's like, okay, we have never started the war.
We've never been angry enough to.
We wouldn't win.
And with that, we underestimate the impact of internalized oppression.
Carnegie.
You
even though we lost,
my nigga.
Even though we're going to lose, we still got to
we
fight.
Would.
That's the main
That's
thing.
2 for 1. They have enough numbers to do that. They kill one, now we retaliate them, and then another one goes to jail. If they keep doing that, we're done.
In many ways, I agree with him. Because it would be different. It would be different if you had non-white racists who were willing to jump over.
Let's talk basketball. When basketball players had the fucking power to set an example for young Black boys by actually doing something more than just, not Black basketball players could have not played the fucking game. When the whole shit went down, how many years ago? 3-4 years ago with the white guy. What's his name?
Donald Sterling.
Sterling. Fuck that. You could have made history. At this point, at 2018, nobody gives a fuck that none of them came out with a fucking jersey on. You still played the game. You could have made history and set the tone for young Black men that, you know what? Stand tall. You have power. You have power. It's the same thing.
Killing people and not playing the game.
That's real.
Killing people and not playing the game are the same thing.
Time out. Wait.
It's a mindset,
Wait. I fuck with that because I'm just speaking on how I felt during that time. You have to do more than just wear your jersey inside out.
Is that the same?
No.
Wait.
No. Listen to what's going on. The fact is, fuck everything else. Don't show up. Don't play, because without you, my brother, there's no tickets. There's no game.
That's real.
No.
Death ramifications.
We're not talking about that.
That's real.
We're not talking about that.
I think you make that statement.
We're not talking about that.
You are not about this revolutionary life. If you cannot make a sacrifice, you're not about that life.
That's
period.
It's not
All
about
them
killing,
dudes,
Carnegie. It's about sacrifice.
They get fined.
No matter what the sacrifice is.
Y'all trying to bring a correlation
to bullshit. They get fined thousands and thousands of dollars for bullshit.
That's
you
not
mean to
your
tell
life.
me even one fucking game, the
life.
whole team, one game, my nigga? One
Sacrificing
game?
money ain't the same as a life. Y'all telling me go out and have a race war. What I'm
you're
saying
not,
is
you're not seeing the bigger picture, Carnegie.
No.
You're not seeing the bigger picture.
Y'all said this after saying white people don't retaliate and kill the cops. And what I said is if you retaliate and kill the cops, you are either going to, one, die or be locked up for life.
So
we will not win that game because the numbers, we will be extinct if we go by those numbers. Saying not playing a game is a huge difference between dying.
You don't get it, yo.
I don't get that dying and not playing a game are two different things.
I think it's just two different arguments that are being made. I think it's two different arguments that are being made.
Wait, Q, make your point, Q.
My thing is, I think
it's a mindset.
We're not saying that we don't
It's a
understand what you're
mindset.
saying. It's just that your mindset has to change. If you're willing to say, you know what, those players could have sacrificed those games because they already fucking
I
rich,
think they could have sacrificed
and
those
the
games.
niggas
I don't
used
think
us.
we knew what the loss was. I agree. I think they could have and should have sacrificed those games. I think that would have made a big statement.
Absolutely.
The same
I
way
agree with
LeBron
y'all.
doing all them
I think
famous-
NFL
agree
players.
with that.
I think NFL players should have stopped playing those games. I don't think
agree
Christopher
with
Michelle
that.
should have sung.
I agree
But
with that.
but I also know that I
same
don't know what the
mindset.
risk was,
It's the same
right?
type of mindset.
I also
And
know that I
killing
don't know what the
somebody
risk
is
was.
the same
And I
thing.
also know that oftentimes these kids are being recruited without having the emotional capacity or the mental capacity to make decisions like this. And oftentimes we bestow these types of responsibilities on them. And we don't know what the fuck they got to evaluate in life. So I also think it's immature for us to be making these types of statements and not knowing what was at risk of them making that. Because if somebody came to me and said, oh, if you don't play this game, you lose your contract, I might not have. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that was a back end shit.
You're not about
I
that
don't
life.
agree at the fact
You're not
that they
about
didn't make
that
that
life.
choice.
So you're not about that life.
You're right, and that's real.
Think how
And that's
powerful.
real.
Wait,
That's
look
real.
about it.
That's
Q.
my
Think about it.
point.
Think about
You're
this.
not about
Hold on,
that
Rain.
life.
Hold on, Rain. Think how powerful that would have been if LeBron James would have came out the first game of the season and took a knee.
Ooh, but
He
let me
still would've
but let me
played.
hit y'all with
They
this
wouldn't
one.
have banned
But let me
him
hit you with
because
this
of
one.
the star that he is.
But let me
He's
hit you with
LeBron
this one.
James.
You're
not
right.
built like that.
You are right.
Not
I
played
100%
that
agree.
game,
I
yo.
100% agree. I 100%
plays
agree.
just
think about how
But I
powerful that
also
would've
feel
been.
like, but I also feel like LeBron James, as an athlete, as a professional athlete,
He plays
has
it
taught
safe.
children how to market their talents differently than sitting down there and showing like allegiance to a fucking team that really don't give a fuck about him. And he has showed kids how to
has
make
shown no
business
allegiance.
decisions, but he still gets flack for that. So regardless of
Right.
whatever decision that you
But
fucking make,
that's not.
my
but that's
principles
bigger
and
than
yours
his
are not the
allegiance with the
same.
teams, though.
My principles and yours are not the same. So what it is that we evaluate as revolutionary is not the same. LeBron James with his fucking decision, that might have been revolutionary to him. He might have thought that in that very fucking moment, I am showing kids how to be a boss and how to turn the tables.
No,
but
the
we
fuck he
sat
did
down
not.
here.
No, he did
hear
not.
me out. Hear me out. We
Go ahead,
sat down
Q.
here the other day because I remember. I did quote this the other day, that we sat down here and said, oh, it's not team-oriented, right? Oh, it wasn't cute that he made a big deal about this decision. He wasn't showing that he has allegiance. He's making business decisions. However,
They went to
years
charity.
and years and years on end, black men's talents have been taken for granted, and white people have been marketing off of their talents, whether or not it be with basketball and football. And this man has decided that, no, I'm not going to allow that shit to be the case anymore, and I'm going to show them I'm the fucking boss. But we still scrutinize him for that. And maybe in
But
his,
that's another
maybe
topic.
for him, that
That's
was
a whole
revolutionary.
nother
about
topic.
the
Exactly.
revolution.
That's
Are you
a whole
about
nother
that life
topic.
or
Maybe
not?
for him
Are you
that
gonna
was revolutionary.
exercise your power or not? Are you gonna show young black boys that I have the power? We control the fucking game. You know what? Maybe I'll just say for one game, I may not play one game. I may not get the money for one game. If now I find the penalty, then okay, I may decide I'm gonna play the next game. But at least I showed young black boys
I agree
that
with
they
that.
should stay
agree
control.
with y'all.
I agree.
That's
I
not
agree.
killing
I
somebody.
agree.
That's something you
Y'all
don't
trying
get
to
the whole
correlate to
mindset.
killing
So
somebody.
wait.
It's
So
not
to
the
bring
same.
it, so to bring it back, because I know
Well-
we gotta wrap up soon.
Wrap it up.
Like we as
Unpopular
a
opinions.
Unpopular opinions. 1 second. Just let me wrap this up real quick.
Got me losing my voice.
I love this shit. Though.
So let me just do this real quick. Let me just do this real quick.
I love it.
Like I just want you guys to understand. Like not you guys understand. Everybody has their bias, their threshold. Everybody has that point where it's like, you know what, I can't do that.
Right.
Even
Expected.
Sir LeBron, right? But at the same time, like I was trying to say about, you know, Mr. Obama, like it was just a matter of, I just wish he just made that concerted effort to do such, whether or not he was going to get turned down. But at the same time, everybody has a threshold. We all have the same motives. We all have the same intentions, Mr. Intentional, right? But we just need to be cognizant of the fact that everybody's not going to be about what, you know what we were about.
Everyone's
in the 60s,
priority isn't my priority.
Exactly.
That's what it really
Part
needs
two
to say.
next week.
Because I guarantee you're disappointing someone because you're not prioritizing something that they think is fucking
Of
priority.
course, and you can't make everyone happy. But at the end
My
of the
point
day,
exactly. So for you to think that Obama should have made you happy, that's selfish. And
That's my-
actually,
And we're out
like,
on
are
that
you guys
note.
dating?
And we're
Are
out.
y'all dating?
that's
Are
my
y'all dating?
unpopular opinion.
Third round.
That's true.
She edged the third
Boom,
round.
boom. Drop the bombs.
edged the
We're
third
out.
round right
Unpopular
there. Oh,
You're gonna
opinions.
give me a fucking bomb.
Great show,
Edged the
guys.
third
Great
round.
show.
It's 2-1 either way.
Clap it up for
2-1
something.
either
Clap
way.
it.
Omar, 2-1
Yeah,
either way.
Episode 10. Happy belated.
Happy birthday,
Happy belated.
Omar.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Thank y'all for the invite, man.
No problem. And we out. Chill.